Uh, Welcome to the Geeks Fiber Pod. Did it not show my video? No. You know what? Nah. All right, I'll take it. Welcome to the Geeks Fiber Podcast. I'm your host, the one, the only, the most chaotic panelist and podcast host in all of Texas, King Mexico, also known as Captain Mexico. Joining me is, well, not joining me is Keyblade Sonic, who's actually running late. He runs the skinny. Joining me is my producer. She is the one, the only, the voice of God herself, Dankapus.
Oh my god, hi.
And joining us is our temporary co-host. She is going to fill in for Sonic, so she will be the one spin dashing her way into your TVs and into your hearts and into your wallets, hopefully. Ninja Tanti, what is going on?
Hey.
Let me go ahead and put this. So I posted for all of our guests. I posted the link to the YouTube video, so in case y'all want to share it. We do have a big episode today. This is going to be a very, very big, long episode. Everyone has a lot of stuff to share, guys. So before we begin with everything that's going on, I do have to get some stuff out of the way because not that we're trying to like make them look bad or anything, but it's just synergy stuff. So this podcast is brought to you by Comic Palooza at the Georgia Brown Convention Center, May 24th through the 26th. If you haven't heard right now, John Cena is their special guest. He will be there Sunday only doing autographs. If you can't see him, then you probably can't get a picture. Make sure you check out Comic Palooza at comicpalooza.com. We'll be doing the live stream from the con. Usually Sonic does the skinny. And this weekend we are doing our WrestleMania broadcast we're doing a pre-show for WrestleMania this weekend at Big City Wings. Join us. We'll be live on YouTube. If you haven't already, make sure you are subscribed to the video. If you're watching this, do me a favor. Can you give the video a thumbs up, please? It helps us with the YouTube algorithm because it sucks. All right. We are a packed house right now. All right. So welcome everybody. So we're going to do an introduction. We're going to start with DJ. Go ahead and introduce yourself, sir. Who are you and what are you doing here?
Hi, my name's DJ. Some people call me Damani, whatever you want to say. I'm here to talk about my issues with Weebcon and some other stories I've heard about the con and its just happenings.
Nini, you might need to check your settings. Are you on your phone? Check your settings on your phone. It should be like a little gear. Okay.
Oh.
She stepped away. All right. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. All right. Next up, we have Monica.
Hi. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, good. I'm just double checking. You never know. I'm Monica. I run the Twisted Top. I was a vendor at Weebcon this year as well as a couple years ago. So I just have some gripes. That's all. I got some stuff to say.
I think everyone has something to say at today. And joining us is the one, the only. You can see him all over the Dallas area. Ghostly Blaze. You can't see him on camera though.
I'm just here to listen, and I was actually one of the people that helped with one of the vendor tables, and just here to hear everything that went down.
So actually, there's something that I have. So somebody submitted a story about an incident in the vendors area. Maybe you can confirm, or maybe you saw it. Who knows? Maybe you're the guy that it happened to.
I have no idea about it.
No, we got you though. All right, next up is Mudkip.
Hey everyone. So I just wanted to. I've been, in the Discord. Weebcon had a Discord, so while I was attending Weebcon with my girlfriend, there was just a bunch of stuff going on. So I'm here to just give my 2 thoughts on it and what I saw with, I was there about 2 days, so I'd like to give my impressions of this convention.
Okay. Well, welcome. Thank you for coming on. Thank you for agreeing to come on. Share your thoughts, your gripes, your concerns, anything that you would like to share. And last but not least, because Nini's not here, I think she's having. Oh, there she is.
I think I'm here. Sorry.
Yes, there you go. So you might as well introduce yourself next.
Yes. Hi, I'm Nini. I was a panelist and just like a regular Congory this year at Weebcon. I don't know. I feel like I got just.
And you cut off mid-sentence. All right. So we'll come back to Nini. Homer, you are next. And we can't hear Homer. Homer, if you're talking, we can't hear you at all. So we'll come back to them. All right, guys, for those of you that are joining us, I know a lot of people that were at Weebcon are joining us. If you have anything you want to share, anything at all, go ahead and put in the comment section. We don't share everything though in the comment section. We kind of have to watch what people are posting. We will have some trolls. So just to let everybody know, some of the staff members of Weebcon are watching the show tonight. They were made aware of the show. They were made aware of what's going on, of everything that's happening. So they are watching the show. So don't think that your voices will not be heard. You will be heard because we are the voice of the voiceless, and we are making sure that people are paying attention to us. Nini, can you hear us now?
Yes. Sorry, I'm having so many technical difficulties. Oh my gosh, my phone hates me.
It's okay. It's okay. It happens. We had the same thing with Jenna, Jason David Frank's daughter. So let's start off with. So let's talk about the convention. The convention was a 3-day convention this past weekend in the Grapevine Gaylord area. Is that right?
Yes.
Yes, that is correct.
3 days. Was it a hotel? Was it a convention center? What was it?
It would say resort.
Yeah.
Hold on, I need
the
to-
convention center.
I need to interject here. Gaylord is the name of the hotel for the wider internet who doesn't know that. We're not being mean. We're
Yeah.
not saying
So I want to give a shout out to Knox, first time commenter. So glad y'all are doing this. Frost Elf VA, I think. Oh no, I know who that is. What's up? This weekend was just insane. Jesus probably wants to go back to the tomb and cancel Easter thanks to Weebcon.
Oh gosh.
Strong words. Sorry if I pronounce this wrong. First time commenter, great Riddick. This weekend was very normal thing for Weebcon. From what I have heard, that is not good. Not
That is
good.
insane.
not good.
Another comment from the same person. Like I was there for a day and it was just boring and felt too restrictive, like last year. So this is something that Ulysses Fartknocker wanted to. So everyone wasn't here when we started the show. So let me go ahead and. So there's certain things. So I'm just gonna put it out there, guys. You can't say offensive stuff. You can't say racist things, which we don't say that stuff anyway. But there's another word that we can't say. It's in our little private chat in the corner. Just make sure that you guys look at it. Just so, and that's very important because that's something that will be talked about in this episode.
Mm-hmm.
We can say assault.
Right.
So Knox has another one.
Is SA okay?
Yes, SA is okay. SA is fine. You can say assault. So I heard let me get my perspective out of the way. And this is kind of me to share, and then we'll start off with DJ. We'll start off with ninjas. We'll start off with ninja, then we'll go with DJ, and then we'll go down the road. So I actually have never heard of Weebcon until like a month ago. I never heard of Weebcon. I didn't know what it was. I heard people hyping it up, like, oh my God, it's gonna be the greatest thing ever, the party con, this, that, yada, yada, yada. I heard more about the actual parties than the actual convention itself. Like nobody gave a shit about the con.
Sounds right.
And then I started hearing more rumblings like, oh, everybody's like, oh yeah, it's gonna be good, it's gonna be great. And then I started hearing things like, oh God, it's just VA con, it's voice actor con. Oh, there's nothing. It's a glorified flea market convention. Oh, it's not going to have anything. It's like, and so I'm gonna be honest with you. I went to AllCon a couple weeks ago, And I had a great time. I had a blast. AllCon is definitely contender for Convention of the Year. They scored an 8.75 out of 10. And so I had no intentions of going to Weebcon. I wasn't going to go. I wasn't going to pay. I was too late for press, too late for panels. As a panelist, I will tell you this. I will absolutely get pissed off if my panels start late. Like, I like to be on time. I show up 10 minutes before each one of my panels, 5 minutes at most. I mean, like, I do 5 minutes. If the panel, like, I don't care if the panelist ends right when I start, because I don't have a setup anyway. But if I show up for my panel on time and that panelist still has 10 minutes left, they started late and they're ending late, that's going to piss me off as a panelist. Because one, we're here, we're supposed to stick to a strict schedule. It's part of our contract when we agree to be panelists. And that's the first thing I heard coming out of this weekend. Oh, bro, like some of the panels were like 10 minutes late, bro, 15 minutes late, and then it ended. And then as soon as it started 10 minutes later, it had to end because like they started late but ended on time. I'm like, what? No, what? How does that work?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, bro, they were like 20 minutes late, and so they only went on stage for 20 minutes. What did they do? Go on stage and give you like a pep talk? Like, what the hell happened? So I started hearing about panelists running late. And then the next thing I heard, they weren't even giving out panelists badges. Is there anyone here in the panel? I'm gonna call this a panel. But is there anyone here that was a panelist for the con?
I was.
Yeah.
This is my badge right here.
Yeah, both of us.
Right here.
Oh wow, how
Oh my
official.
god.
You know, they
So-
spent a pretty penny in our badges this year.
Oh,
I-
yeah,
I-
they
Very
did.
classy.
I like collecting badges because it gives me like the memory of the con.
Yep.
The fact that they gave me this, I felt like I was disrespected, even though I offered my time to them.
No, and like what makes it even worse is that some panelists, I feel like they saw how much we were complaining about how it was like a single piece of paper. Some panelists, hold on, they upgraded their badges by putting a Weebcon lanyard intertwined with the paper badge.
Yep.
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah.
Y'all got a picture
You know.
of that? I would like to see it.
I saw one of my mutuals that they were a panelist. They were holding it with their the lanyard. So hopefully I can like screenshot it. But I saw that and I was like, Tim, at least you got a lanyard, bro.
Yep. So even what was worse is that if you got subscription, not the subscription, but the ticket,
DLC.
the DLC and the very important weed, you got a gold, not really gold, but it was a metal plate for your badge, which it looked really cool. But you know, to see that, you know, for a panelist, you get a wristband while, you know, these other people who spent, you know, I don't know how much it was. I'm sure it was like $200 or something like that, but probably a little bit more than the general admission. You know, they got a nice metal badge. You know, it's kind of insulting to the panelists, in my opinion.
Real quick, I want to give a shout out to an A_name for my Saturday attendance line for badge pickup moved 5 times. DLC line, the con overall was okay. And I want to give a quick shout out real quick before we continue, because I had heard about this. So forgive me, because I'm not even going to begin to try to pronounce your name, because good Lord. Secondly, somebody sent me a TikTok video and it was about this whole like whole wheat Pete or some, like they were calling him whole wheat bread or some shit like that. I don't know. And then here's the thing. And then whole wheat Pete ruining things for other con goers with his antics, which is why staff were so.
Oh my gosh.
I remember.
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
In the comment section, please tell me who whole wheat Pete is, because I have no idea who that is. I've
He
never
is
met
the
this
most annoying TikToker in the world.
It's this
Yeah.
guy. He
Super
goes to
overrated
conventions in like the
cosplayers.
Zenitsu cosplay, and like he
Cosplayer.
goes around chasing Nezuko cosplayers, like trying to tackle them down.
He
and, like,
literally
screaming.
harasses people. That's just
Yeah.
that's his shtick. He runs after Nezuko's as Zenitsu and is like,
Yeah.
"Oh my god, love me."
I think his new thing is Yuji now. So I don't
think
know.
so. Yeah.
All right, so real quick, I do have a video to kind of share. It's from TikTok. We're gonna watch this for a second, and then we'll like go ahead and continue. We're gonna address everybody's comments, guys. So just be patient with me. This is a very big show, so I'm trying my best to keep up with everything. Make sure sound is sharing. Let me make sure that I share the tab. There it is. And
All right, let's
can y'all
talk
hear
about
it?
Yep.
Whole wheat
Yes.
Pete.
Funny? Yeah, you like that? You think it's funny?
Why am I talking about whole wheat Pete? Because I've gotten multiple messages and comments this weekend that people had their weekends ruined at Weebcon because of his antics and behavior, which have just been historically bad. And whole wheat Pete has almost 2 million followers over here, and I do not. What I will be covering is documented proof and of his antics, and I will be covering how I feel about it. I will not be talking about anything that I can't prove is factually correct. If you're like me and you have gone to a con where whole wheat Pete is there, you will hear whispers of, be careful, because whole wheat Pete is here. Why? Because this is what whole wheat Pete does. And he does it for funny content. He gets a lot of clout for that.
I don't want to watch the rest of that shit. I'm already in a bad mood.
I'm kidding.
For real, honestly.
Yeah, it was so
Yeah.
bad.
Actually, there is one part of the video where she does. So there's a video clip that she shares, and I will share the TikTok with you on the comment section. So whole wheat Pete apparently tackled somebody into like the bushes or something like that.
Oh yes.
Yeah, I
remember
remember
seeing
that.
something about that. Yeah.
So I don't know. Like I said, I don't know who whole wheat Pete is. Whole wheat bread slice. I don't care. But so I was watching this TikToker, and this person, like so what I'm trying to get across is this is the kind of shit is the reason why a lot of hotels don't like us as
Yeah.
convention
Yeah.
goers, as cosplayers, as weebs.
Yeah.
And so I don't know why. I don't know what's going on. Can I get a statement from anybody that Weebcon about whole wheat Pete? Was he kicked out? Was he allowed to stay? Was he allowed to get away with half this stuff?
Personally,
I know.
I
Yeah.
didn't see anything about whole wheat Pete, but there was one incident that like this was the first and only time I ever heard of him at Weebcon. But Sunday, I was doing a photo shoot with a couple other cosplayers, and the location we picked out was that same fountain where he got his head dunked on.
Yeah.
And they were like, "Hey,
That was
we're
in the
meeting
very
up
beginning.
here." Yeah, and then they were like, "Hey, we're meeting up here for photos." And somebody in the group chat was like, "Oh, that is where whole wheat Pete decided to get into the water fountain." And I was like, "What?" I had no context of anything that was happening, and they were like, "Yeah, like he literally jumped into the fountain." And when we were taking photos there, security was like all around us.
Oh, great.
They were like all around us, and they were like, they kept coming back like every couple seconds, like checking on us. Eventually, like towards the end of the shoot, the security was like, "Okay, if you're not taking photos, get out and go back to the convention center." And we were like, okay. Like, he was just like straight up screaming. He was like, "Go back to the convention if you are not doing anything here." And it's
Who
insane
said
how
that? Who said that shit?
it was a security guard from like the Gaylord
hotel?
convention. Yeah,
From the hotel or from like the con?
no, from the
It would have
hotel.
been, yeah, it
the
would have been
hotel.
from the hotel. So the
Yeah.
hotel rented out or leased out or whatever the situation was with the actual convention center, but didn't make any distinctions between where the convention center ended, where the congoers were supposed to be, versus where the hotel started.
Well,
So you had a bunch of guests that were at the convention center that were in and out of the atrium the entire weekend. And somebody like wheat bread decided that it would be a good idea to film in there, and he
Yeah.
ruined it for everybody because after that happened, anybody who was trying to take photos, like actual like photographers and stuff that were hired by cosplayers and stuff, those people were getting kicked out of the area because
Mhm.
according to the security at the hotel, we couldn't behave ourselves. So we weren't. Not only were we not supposed to be there in the first place, but when we were let in, we were not acting appropriately.
Well,
Yeah.
actually, what Weebcon said is that they had a sign, and I saw the sign.
Sign.
Sign. I saw the
Where?
sign when I was walking out of the atrium, and it was like, "Oh, welcome to the Weeb side of things."
Oh yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
But like, that doesn't really. If you want to say it's a sign, I barely could see it.
No.
I want to give a shout out real quick to the the Wi-Fi wife. Thank you for first time commentary. They are commenting. So the really cool thing about this, guys, is that right now we have 25 people watching on YouTube, and we have 12 people watching on Twitch. We're live streaming on both channels right now simultaneously. So as you see the Wi-Fi wife, she has the Twitch logo and alphabet suit. I'm sorry, bro. I'm so sorry. I can't. The mean, God, I can't.
Just call them bong.
Our super awesome guest commenter is they have the YouTube symbol. So that is the really cool thing about this channel. Yeah. I do. So I've never heard of. So there's a lot of things I'm hearing for the first time, and trust me, this podcast is going to get worse as far as like shit that we're hearing coming out of the con. And we haven't heard everything. There's lots of things people here haven't even heard of that I just got wind of.
Yeah.
Oh god.
We're just touching the surface.
And this is based off.
It gets worse.
Yes, it gets worse, and this is only based off of what people have come forward with. And like, I want to give a shout out real quick. Give me a second. All right. All right. Sorry, I got to address some comments. Okay, so there's some stuff that happened in the vendor's room. There's something that happened in some of the party rooms. There's something that happened in the dealer's room. There's something that happened in the hallway, the second floor, in the parking lot. Good Lord, I can't even sort through all the shit that I got. Like, I was so overwhelmed this morning. Like, I went to go have a smoke. That's how bad it got. I'm not even kidding. Like, it sounds like I'm trying to be funny, but I'm being legit. Like, it was so much. And people were and our guest for tomorrow, we're gonna talk about that a little bit later today. But our guest tomorrow, it's gonna be a tough episode tomorrow. I can guarantee you that. Today just seems like okay. They're gonna talk about the con. They're gonna talk shit about the con. They're gonna talk good. They might say some good things about the con. All right, whatever. But tomorrow is definitely gonna be special, and we might break this up into 3 parts because there are more people that want to talk that can't come on today or tomorrow. Like, it's just so much. I have never heard of Weebcon. Never. This is to me, this is a brand new con with a clean slate, right? But now I'm hearing all this bullshit about the con, and it's not even like so. Like it makes it seem like all the stories you hear, everything that you are catching wind of, it makes it sound like the entire staff of the convention doesn't give a shit, which is not the case. Some of the staff do legitimately care. As a matter of fact, some of the staff are watching the show right now because they want to make the con better.
Mm-hmm.
We want the con to be better. We don't just want to talk shit about this convention and like, all right, well, the fucking con sucks, burn it to the ground and start all over again. No, that's not what we want. We want better, safer cons because there's so much shit that went on. And I don't even know where to start. Like, literally, we're just talking about like,
okay.
Let's start with the fact somebody posted a comment. They said the convention was humid. We just talked about Fluffy, whatever his name is, Fluffy Waffles. I don't give a fuck. Like, it sounds like I'm being funny, but it was called, what was his name? Whole Wheat Pete or something like that?
Yeah.
Bread, I think.
Whole Wheat Pete. Yeah. Whole Wheat Pete. So I will say this about him. I don't know how he hasn't been arrested.
Definitely.
Yeah, seriously. He's
Yeah.
literally assaulting people.
Actually, I
Like,
have a
what's
small
going on?
story to tell about him. I actually had a actual interaction with him one time in Anime Matsuri last year. Um, I helped out. I helped out in a panel because somebody needed help, and I guess I wasn't told that he was going to be making an appearance. It was planned, but bro busted into the panel while I was saying something,
Oh
and
God.
he made me very uncomfortable. It, I don't know. I just don't like his energy, and I'm a high energy type of person, but it's something off about him. Has to be.
Okay,
No, yeah, for sure.
here's where I'm toxic. I'm gonna be toxic for 5 seconds. Or
As you should.
Whole Wheat Pete, if you're watching this, and I see you like to troll, I see you like to tackle people, I see you like to interrupt panels. Try that shit with one of my panels. Try that shit with one of my panels and see how it goes.
I'm just
Because-
waiting for him to attack somebody who's got martial arts training under their belt.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
I'm just
Oh,
waiting
yeah.
for that moment where he gets his shit rocked.
Yep.
Literally.
Bro gets super
Yeah.
fit.
What I
please.
noticed about Holy Pete though is that he's been coming to a lot more Texas cons recently. Like I don't know if that's just me who notices it, but
According to somebody that I met on the elevator, they said that it's because he knows a lot of people over here.
I'm sure he does.
Who does he know?
Unfortunate.
Yeah.
That sucks.
And what's really disturbing is that I think one of his videos shows him basically doing a kickflick and like destroying a wall, basically putting
Wasn't
a
that
hole
like
in a
at
wall.
Katsucon
Yeah.
or something like that?
Yeah, something.
It was
remember that.
My
somewhere.
girlfriend showed me a video of it, and I was like, "What the hell is going on?"
real quick, shout out to Oshio, first time commenter, commenting on Twitch. Got a lot of first time commenters. I like what somebody said this. I can't wait till he like messes with somebody that's martial arts trained so they can rock his shit.
Literally.
Yep.
I mean,
Waiting.
look,
Fucking waiting.
called
I don't want him to get hurt. But here's the thing: he needs to go to like if he's tackling people and it's not like planned or you don't have any kind of consent. First off, don't do that shit.
Yeah.
Do not do that. A whole wheat, home sliced bread, whatever, bro. You're gonna get it. Somebody's gonna rock your shit.
Yeah.
Or you're gonna go to
Yeah,
jail.
literally.
I
gonna
don't
go to
wish
jail.
death upon him or ill intent to him, but if he keeps doing that, that's going to happen. Where
It's inevitable.
you
It'll
don't,
happen.
yeah, someone with, a black belt's going to, push him into a pulp or whatever.
And not even a black
Not gonna
belt.
be good.
All he has to do is tackle somebody that played football, somebody from the hood, somebody
from the military.
somebody
like,
from the military, a cop, somebody that like just they've had it with life.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Or they're hyper vigilant where any sort of fast movement just sets them off and you're down.
A crash out captain. Anybody.
It'd be different, I think, if he mentioned in any of his videos, in any of the captions, in any of the comments, that the people in the actual video that were depicted, they were contacted ahead of time. Like, it doesn't take that much to find somebody who's cosplaying as Nezuko who's on board with something as crazy as this.
Yeah.
You just didn't even bother getting consent, and you're just out here personal property damaging and then just full on ruining conventions for cosplayers.
Just recently, I saw a TikTok of him. It was like this Nezuko cosplayer, and you know how Nezuko has like the little like box.
Oh yeah,
I saw that.
I've seen that one.
This guy, he decides to go and like full on just like rams into this cosplayer's prop and breaks it and everything, and you can tell that the cosplayer looks so shattered by it. I'm like, I was like, why would you do that?
Because you have no concern for anybody else's well-being
Literally.
or any thought process that goes into anything as a normal human.
Yeah, this is bad. This is really so. Let's move on because I don't want to give I don't want whole wheat toast to get in my head.
He's gonna be toast a little.
Toasting him a little too hard right now.
Yeah.
And like people are gonna like. Okay, so let's talk about. So people are you guys have shared. They're saying like, okay, the con didn't really negotiate the lobby or like sections of the hotel. For the con, people are saying that whole wheat whatever it's something to do with like people not being allowed in the lobby, with regardless of what the issue is, because like there's a saying, it only takes one to ruin it for everybody.
Yep.
So obviously this whole wheat Pete person, they're a bad person, and eventually it's going to come to the point where there's been a lot of people. I've been in this community almost 20 years. I started in 2007 with OniCon. I've been to more than 300 anime conventions, comic cons, tabletop cons, comic book, whatever you can think of, horror conventions. I've been to more than 300 conventions. I've seen a few people come and go when it comes to this. I'm not going to say their names, but there was one person in the Dallas area that would stalk Funimation. I remember that person. And then there was one kid in the Houston, Galveston area that would message girls asking them out. And when they turned them down, he would call them names. And then there were other people who worked for conventions. Not going to say which state, not going to say what, but they were pretty toxic. You've had people that work for cons that are like awful people, just awful. I'm just going to put it at that because, you know, YouTube doesn't like it when you say certain words. And I've seen a lot of it come and go because they got exposed. They were kicked out. They were arrested. Like the community eventually had enough of their shit and said, you know what? Fuck you. And eventually that will be the case with Whole Wheat Pete. Eventually people are going to get tired of his shit. He's going to tackle the wrong person and he's going to end up in jail. Because the smart thing is in Texas, the smart thing to do, if somebody assaults you, get the cops involved. They will throw your ass in jail for stealing a Snickers bar from a Walmart. So imagine what they'll do to Whole Wheat Pete.
True.
I can't even go to the goddamn Walmart without being followed. So let's talk about, but like the con itself, it's already off to a bad start. Whole Wheat Pete is ruining shit. He's tackling people in the bushes, running into pillars, running into poles, whatever. Now, was the con like humid? Was it hot? Because I'm asking this, because apparently there were no water stations.
There was no water station.
Oh God.
Oh my God. Okay.
So like, was the AC on at full blast? Was it working?
No.
Thankfully,
Before we
it was,
continue
it
with
was
that,
pretty
actually,
good. Like,
I need to say
environment-wise.
that the reason why they didn't have water stations this year around was because last year somebody went into water stations during the rave and a little bit before, putting roofies and alcohol
Oh my
into the water.
God, bro.
I thought that was Holiday Matsuri.
It happens at more than just Holiday Matsuri. It happened at
Which
WeebCon
is-
as well, but it was during the rave. So
Yeah. Well, apparently the Gaylord hosts another con in August, and they have water stations for them.
I think it also has to be
I saw that
arranged
whole
ahead of
water
time.
station
Yeah.
situation. Apparently, there was only like one water station, and it was near where the cosplay contest was being held. Nobody saw it till like Friday afternoon, like afterwards or something. It was like, you have this big convention center. How are you only gonna have one water station for like thousands of people?
Oh yeah.
They also turned off the water fountains that they did have in the convention center.
Yeah, they did. They did that intentionally once people started figuring it out.
oh my goodness,
That's evil, man.
that's absolutely
Jesus.
evil.
You have to pay
Fucking
for the water DLC.
What is this,
No,
EA?
I don't know.
EA at cons.
No,
Damani, I don't know if you want to tell them about the Starbucks situation.
Oh, okay. So
all right, hold on.
Yeah.
Before y'all start, can everybody watching do me a favor? Just do me a solid. Everyone that's watching right now, can y'all give this video a thumbs up, please? That's all I'm asking. You don't have to follow the channel. I would really love it if you would ring-a-ling that ding-a-ling button, and you'll be notified every time we go live, because we try to review as many cons as possible. But I would just love it if everybody would just go and hit the thumbs up button, because the YouTube algorithm it's just as disorganized as Weebcon was this year.
okay. So
So real quick, I got to introduce him because he's my original co-host. Johnny Huss you got an echo, bro.
Live from his car.
Yeah, live from his car, self-incriminating. The Texas gaming hedgehog himself, the man with the plan, the Ayatollah rock and roller. He runs the skinny, but he's in his car, so you should probably join later.
And in
Keyblade
landscape
Sonic.
mode.
Can't hear you, bro. Just join later. Join when you get home. Join when you get home. Thank you. All right. So let's talk. So what were we saying? We were talking about the water situation. So this is what I heard, and y'all can elaborate on this, because I want to. The reason why I like the fact that I'm coming in here ignorant, because I don't know. I wasn't there. I didn't take the time to go to the fucking convention because I have better shit to do with my life. Like, and I'm glad I went. I was thinking about going. I really thought about going. I was really considering it. I didn't go.
Dude, you really were better off just staying at home that weekend.
You dodged
Yeah.
this bullet. It's insane.
So, hi everybody. Sorry.
Welcome.
We got a staffer.
Yeah. I don't know if anybody else has described it, but for me, personally, I had a pleasurable experience, but allowing like 24, 48 hours to process the convention, for lack of a better phrase, was kind of like a bit of a clusterfuck. I don't know if that's the right word to say it.
Yeah, that's pretty much how everybody's described the con.
Yeah.
Show,
Yeah.
Dumpster fire, clusterfuck.
It's so surreal. It was like night and day, like a complete 180 to what was last year. Last year I heard nothing but praise. But yeah. Anyway, I'll be back. I'm gonna be back in my office, but for now, I'm just gonna keep driving. I'll be back.
Yeah. Join when you're not self-incriminating. Thank you.
Gotcha.
All right. Is it Pacifist Peach?
Pacifist.
Pacifist. God, I can't read. That's Texas education for you. Thank you for commenting, first time commenter on the Twitch side of the channel. So this is what I heard. I heard that there were no water stations. They were selling water at $8 a bottle.
Yep.
I paid
Around
11
that.
for mine.
Yeah,
Jesus.
the whole water situation was so bad, and like I was like mentioning to DJ, he was telling me a story how apparently, I don't know if it was Weebcon security. What was it that you told me, Damani?
Okay, let me tell you.
That it was,
there's a connecting Starbucks
yeah.
at the con, right?
Mm-hmm.
And people were dying. Usually Starbucks gives out free water to people, right? So they started. I heard a thing that they started denying cosplayers that free water. That Sunday, I was wearing Astros merch because I did a baseball panel. So I was like, okay, let me test this theory out. I asked a random cosplayer, hey, I want to test this theory out. Can you go ask for some water at the Starbucks? The cosplayer didn't get it. When I came up and asked for some water, they gave me a cup.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So it sounds like the hotel, obviously. So here's the thing. I used to work for a hotel. It's true. Some hotels hate certain groups. At the hotel I used to work for, it was the Sheraton Brook Hollow in Houston, Texas. We had a beauty pageant for like little girls. Our hotel hated that group. It stunk. It was hot. They had a microwave. It got nasty. They would treat them like crap, give them the bare minimum. Do you think the hotel was giving us the same treatment like the one I used to work for because of people like sliced bread or whatever the fuck his name is?
So I definitely saw a lot of inconsistency with the hotel staff because like me and my friends were walking around in cosplay and we weren't bothered once, but walking by other people who weren't doing anything, just talking with friends, were told, hey, you're too loud, or you have to leave. This isn't, you have your own space. And it's like, we've paid to be here. So technically both spaces Like, we have the right to both. I didn't have any issues with cosplayers. They were all pretty, I mean, aside from crowding in one area because everywhere is like too small for anybody to meet up. But for the most part, everybody was respectful and did their best from what I could see to respect both hotel and other congoers. There were a few people climbing on like the rock faces and stuff at the hotel, and those were the few bag eggs that were, you know, disrespecting the hotel for sure. But other than that, it was very inconsistent, because even like the hotel, like as I checked in, they gave us 3 or 4 pages worth of rules that we had to follow, of dress code rules. And it was like, okay, thanks. And yeah, it was very inconsistent.
Actually, you guys mind if we pivot for just a second, because we have a lot of people watching, and I do want to get this out there real quick. So this isn't widely known. A lot of people aren't aware of this. So this is not I'm reading this word for word. So a vendor was injured really badly during the loadout after Weebcon this weekend.
God.
Oh.
One of the concrete pillars that block people from driving was put back badly and not secured. It ended up falling on his leg and crushed it. There were 2 ambulances outside.
No way.
Oh my God.
There were 2 ambulances outside in the loading dock during the whole thing.
Jesus.
Wait, was this Saturday?
During the loadout, so I think it
would
was
have been
Sunday.
Sunday.
Yeah, probably.
Sunday. I know there was an ambulance and fire truck Saturday. That's why.
That might have been it. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe they were leaving early. I'm not
There's
sure.
a fine if you leave.
I'm very interested in the inevitable lawsuit against the convention center.
I mean,
Jeez.
sue them.
So this part is the part that's not confirmed. So not confirmed, but I did hear that people tried telling staff about the pillar not being safe, but the staff member said something along the lines of, "I don't care."
Wow. That's negligence, right?
I will not disclose who the vendor is who sent me that information.
That's terrible.
That's a no-show violation right there.
The vendor can sue for so many things.
Yep.
Just because of that incident alone. There was like negligence, that is horrible.
Yeah.
That is
So
really
the
bad.
lawsuit would result against the convention center. That's more against the convention center itself rather than the con.
Yeah.
And this was just sent to us. Thank you for the so anonymous cosplayer did say that Whole Wheat Pete does sometimes get consent from cosplayers.
Sometimes.
Yeah, he posted a whole thing in the Discord.
Sometimes.
So glad to see he gets it occasionally.
It should have been all the time. Would have been the right answer.
Yeah, or I don't do that.
It should have been, or it should have been not doing this shit
We're not
at
doing
all
it
and
in the
making
first
us all
place.
look bad. Now, like, because it's crap like that makes us all look like
idiots,
like jackasses.
Yeah.
And we already have so much stigma behind this, for being, anime fans or geeks or whatever.
Literally.
This just adds on to that fire that we already have.
The fact that
So-
he has no consideration about his actions, even though they've been pinpointed so many times. There's been literal videos and like fucking Google Docs on his behavior, and he's still not doing anything to like fix it or try and like apologize and own up to what he's doing.
Yep.
Shout out. Sorry. Fuck. I lost my train of thought. Look, let's just put it out there. I don't want to talk. Like I said, we're gonna talk a little. We're gonna talk about other things like the water situation and the fucking vendor getting their leg crushed. But Whole Wheat Pete, he's not the only TikToker that does shit like that. Look at a lot of these TikTokers that are famous, right? They're famous for doing like some of the dumbest shit. For For instance, look at like what's his name? Doherty, who always like he did a video with the Island Boys.
Oh, I know who you're talking about, like Jack Doherty or something.
Yeah, there you go, Jack Doherty. Look at him. He's always doing dumb stuff, and he's now like he's rich and famous because he like people watch this stuff. So Holy Pete is taking that and applying it to a community that already has a bad rep, that it's already developed a bad reputation. Let me share something with y'all. Here's something that they talked about in the WeebCon Discord that people kind of don't remember, they kind of forgot, or people just don't like to bring it up. There's a reason why raves are no longer called raves.
Yep.
And you can blame Akon for that.
Oh, really?
You can blame Akon because Akon had such a bad reputation of underage drinking and underage people doing drugs, or just drugs in general being like.
Yep, that's rave.
If you ever walked into the bathroom at Akon near the rave, you know what I'm talking about.
Damn.
And I'm not talking about some like, well, they might have smoked some weed. No, I'm talking about they did some ghetto ass hood shit. As somebody that grew up in the hood, I know what I'm talking about. So that's the reason why, for liability reasons, dances are no longer called raves, because if they are called raves, it insinuates drugs and alcohol, and the insurance will not cover them. That's why in every convention since they call it the dance, after hours dance, 18 plus dance, the not rave dance,
the EDM party.
If EDM party, whatever, but you notice they don't say rave. And somebody brought that up. And this is something that happened like 10 years ago. And it's crazy to think that, and it was a big deal. Like there, you would see like 16, 17-year-olds on like, I'm not going to say the name of the drug, but let me put it like this. They were riding the white pony.
Gotcha.
Like, yeah.
There's a Weebcon staffer here anonymously, it says in chat.
Yeah, I think there was like two staffers.
There's a few, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's fine. We did say in the beginning that the Weebcon, I invited a couple of Weebcon staff members because we wanted them to be here. We want them to see what's going on, because we're not just going to sit here and talk shit about a con and not offer constructive criticism. No, I want Weebcon to be better. I want Weebcon to do better. The staff members that are listening to me, bro, guys, I want y'all to be better. I fucking hate anime Matsuri. When I die, on my tombstone, on my grave, I wanted to say, just rest in peace, Jesse. Fuck Matsuri.
Top anime
I
Matsuri
want y'all to do
hater,
better.
for real.
Number one,
I am the number one anime Matsuri hater, and I'll tell you what, and I won't go into details why, but something with them happened with me in 2018. And I will never forgive them for it. So Weebcon, just hear us out. We will share constructive criticism, but right now we're just griping, we're just venting, and tomorrow's episode is the part 2, but I want you guys to listen to this and hear it. If you have any questions, if you have any concerns, I will send you a copy of this podcast so you can show it to your boss. I will talk with y'all. I will invite y'all, and I will do everything. If I have to volunteer next year and scrub toilets and do security and panels and beat people like a piñata with a stick so they don't tackle each other in the bushes, I will do whatever I can to help this con. But this con has to acknowledge that there's issues, there's problems, and the first thing to fixing them is to start addressing them. And you got to sit there and ask yourself, how can we be better? How can we do better? How can we push ourselves to be the best that we can be? Let's not we're going to make money, people are going to show up, it's Weebcon, whatever. No, we shouldn't have that mentality, because as a parent, my daughter's going to be 5 in 4 days. Eventually, she will join the cosplay community, and I don't want her to go through some of the bullshit that we're going to talk about in this episode. And we haven't even touched the tip of the iceberg. Like, holy shit, we just talked about the pillar. Now, that was sent to me by one of the vendors. I'm not going to disclose who sent that to me, but I will say this: that is not the con's fault. That is on the convention center's fault. And the con should take that into consideration. The venue sucks.
It does.
It definitely does. And I hate that it has so much potential to be good.
Yeah, it's very beautiful. It's a beautiful venue.
Nice.
It's just that the staff are like, oog, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, beautiful or not, a turd is a turd.
Mhm.
You can paint it gold all you
Exactly.
want, but it's still a turd.
Yeah, exactly.
I so wanted this con to be awesome because for myself, I follow a lot of VTubers, and Weebcon was probably the biggest con that I have seen with a lot of VTubers behind it. There were like 30 plus VTubers in person and virtual there. And to me, that's awesome because that's a lot of star power, especially for VTubing in general over the past three years during the pandemic and whatnot. You know, I thought, that was awesome. But the other things compounded with that just made it really bad.
Yeah, Weebcon had a lot of potential. They had like a nice lineup of voice actors. They had the One Piece live action cast there too.
Yeah.
Like it had a lot of potential, but it was just managed and staffed really, really poorly.
All right. So did anyone here volunteer for the convention at all? Or was everybody here just panelists and congoers?
No,
I wasn't. I was just a congoer.
I was a vendor.
Okay. And real quick, the Wi-Fi, God, the Wi-Fi wife. Are we talking about God damn it, why did I almost call him Potato Head? The whole wheat bread dude,
Wheat toast guy,
the honey oats dude. I'm not trying to be funny. I just don't remember his name because that's like how little like I give a shit about whole wheat Pete. There you go. Yeah. So if that's true, if it's him, did he do that at Weebcon? Because some of the con staff are watching. That needs to be addressed. I hope you guys saw that. So the water situation, people are blaming the convention. Do you guys feel like it's the convention's fault for the water situation, or is it more of the
Yes
venue?
and no.
I feel like it's a failure on both sides.
It really is a failure on both sides.
Yeah. I'm sure that there's been miscommunication pretty much everywhere on both ends. So it's probably both their faults.
Yeah.
So there is some truth to that. So the water stations are negotiated as part of a contract with the venue.
That's what I
thought. It's not free, obviously. It's the con does have to I don't know if that's the case for this venue, but for a lot of the venues they do charge. So what I'm getting is that it was so for some people, like, here's the thing. The water is important. It's an important part of conventions because you have cosplayers. My Captain Mexico, I have tactical armor as part of my Captain Mexico cosplay because I deal with a lot of racism when I go to Renaissance festivals and other stuff like that. If you don't know what tactical armor is, it has slots to put plates that make it bulletproof. The vest alone weighs 15 pounds. And that's with all decked out in the Mexico armor, the shield, the boots. I wear worker boots. I sweat a lot. I look like I just jumped in a swimming pool. And water is important. You have other cosplayers. You have furry cosplayers, mascot cosplayers. My homie Totoro. You have like Pokemon cosplayers. They require water.
Yeah.
Some of us don't have $8 to spend on water.
Yep. I was wearing fake leather for most of Saturday. If I hadn't brought my own water, it'd have been awful.
I'm sorry for your loss.
Do you feel like the con was cost cutting?
I
think they didn't have enough money to cover for those additions. If those additions were in the contract, like, okay, pay $5,000 for water, pay $5,000 for extra security, stuff like that. So I think it was a cost savings, or they didn't have enough money to cover that.
I mean, as cool as our badges were, they could have spent a little less on our badges and a little bit more on other stuff.
Like the water.
Yeah. Again, badge was super cool, but they could have gave those to the actual guests and not to regular attendees.
So I'm so behind. I'm so behind on the comment section.
Oh, yeah.
We're still in the whole week, Pete, and apparently he got invited to a
Yes. He's a guest apparently.
That's frightening.
What con is
I think
that?
it's Nishi, something like that.
That must be a new one.
I'm not going to that.
Something in Fort Worth.
Good luck to them. That was probably a mistake on their part, but whatever.
Yeah.
All right. I do see. Thank you for reminding me. I see Hina in the comment section. Gonna send her the
Nishi Fest.
because I did say Nishi. So I guess they're gonna have to keep a close eye on him. Whole Wheat Pete used to be on Twitch and got banned for harassing people in public areas. So we're gonna go ahead and move on. I know Ninja for sure. Ninja's an award-winning cosplayer plus award-winning handler. Tell us, I want to hear your thoughts on the whole water situation, because I feel like people are underestimating how important water is for our community.
Water is super important for cosplayers. We have so many layers on that we are just it's just very important. Like, again, I was wearing fake leather all day, and if I hadn't gone outside multiple times to cool off and had my own water with me, I probably would have had some kind of heat stroke, whatever, because it was hot. Like, their AC was like, if you were into the atrium, sure, it was cool enough, but the convention center itself was so humid. I felt like it wasn't AC. It was just like, water is so important to stay hydrated and to keep going. Like, soda's not going to do it. Neither is the Monsters that everybody drinks.
Wait, what?
What?
Y'all see this comment?
Wait, hold on.
On
What?
YouTube.
On YouTube.
Oh my goodness gracious!
Wow.
What?
Serious allegations there.
Yeah, you're throwing
Ain't
no
wrong
way.
allegations.
Wait, what's going on?
Oh.
Wow.
I must be behind somewhere because I'm not seeing what y'all are seeing.
Our most recent comment from
So
That
might
is
have got-
insane.
the fucking K-pop ass name motherfucker. They're saying that the CEO does that assault the female staff.
Man, we got a
Oh,
owner here.
shit.
That's
That is
crazy.
a serious allegation.
That is a
like,
strong allegation.
That
You
is
can prove.
serious, if true.
Yeah, it seems like a
I
lot
don't see
of
that comment.
essays
It's
been
the
happening at WeebCon, doesn't
newest
it?
comment.
Yeah, it's just the CEO SAing the female staff. That is a serious allegation.
Yeah.
I also
I'm not
want to
gonna touch
address
that
this
one.
other comment that just came in on the YouTube as well. Like, they're giving away free Celsius. Celsius is actually not good for you because they don't count how many grabs of caffeine that they put into each individual Celsius. So you can get a heart attack just from drinking like 2 cans of it, just saying. And even if it's like just a cup, it's still not as good. It's like how when they had Panera Bread selling their lemonade, and the lemonade had 300 grams of caffeine. I would say that it's not as good as water. Also, caffeine dehydrates you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true. I only really drink soda if I haven't really eaten food, and even then, that's not really that great for you.
Yeah, no, they were giving away free Celsius. I did see that.
I did not see that.
Yep, they
And
did.
if
It was
you're
like last day.
Yeah, and if you're dehydrated, that extra hit of caffeine is gonna make you super sick.
Yeah. And that's kind of the big issue with most of the con on the Saturday, was there were a lot of people who got really, really sick and really dehydrated.
Because of the
because they didn't have water.
pre-workouts and the gaming, what is it? The gaming
Drinks and all that.
drinks, yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause people couldn't get free water; they were getting the samples.
Mm-hmm. And I can give a good example. I don't know if you guys talk about this. So I have there's a cosplayer I met her like a year or two ago. She's actually disabled, so she was trying to look for water and all that, and like she was like really, because it kind of like, you know, it makes kind of affects her disability, and it was not just the water situation, also for like people like climb upstairs, elevators, you know, et cetera, and all that stuff. It didn't really help much for some of the disabled for the disability. And yeah, it was kind of weird because I was trying to look for drinks too. I was trying to look for water, like a water fountain or something like that. I know there's probably people who would bring their own water, you know, like water bottles or tumblers, something like that, and not being able to have a chance to like refill their water bottles or drinks or anything like that. That just didn't help anything.
I fucking hate YouTube.
What?
Hold on.
Yeah, if
I can't see.
Yeah, so yeah, if you get dehydrated, you need to get electrolytes of Pedialyte. Like Pedialyte.
Yeah. Okay.
Something like Gatorade, I guess that helps too. I don't know.
yeah, I always
Yeah,
bring liquid IV with me to do that.
Liquid,
to
yeah,
yeah.
Hey, Yami, I'm trying to because your message was okay. Never mind. You're good. I thought YouTube fucking did something bad. Fucking YouTube. So, god damn it. YouTube is being a bitch right now.
Right now they're kind of, I don't know what's going on. YouTube is down, like kind of acting strange lately. So, don't worry.
A lot of websites are down.
Yeah,
like a lot of them.
So Propel water is it doesn't have sugar in it. Propel water is Gatorade, like he was saying, Pedialyte, anything like that.
Liquid
Pedialyte,
IV, hydration packets, anything with electrolytes.
Light beer,
Airborne or something like that. Yeah.
Don't do the light
yeah,
beer.
in the comments here for Shaw Darkness, shout out to Shaw Darkness. It was ridiculous that you can get water for $6. You had a soda as $4.50. The lack of water stations was really bad. Yeah, it's just it's surreal that, you know, it kind of reminds me of like a theme park sometimes. Sometimes you go to a theme park and the water is more expensive than soda or something like that. It's like you're better off just bringing your own like water, you know, like a little water bottle, and then you can refill it at the stations.
Bring the next time, guys. This is actually a tip for y'all. So I know they're like $40, but buy a filtered water bottle and just get it from the sink.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Just getting a life straw.
Yeah, that's.
I told my girlfriend, like, okay, I think we're just gonna go buy some like Amazon Camel Pack and or Camelback or whatever, so that this doesn't happen again.
Yeah, I saw a mutual. They said that they bought a water bottle, and because water was so expensive to get again, that they just ended up going to the restroom and filling the water bottle up with like sink water.
Yeah,
I was like, that is insane.
It's wild. I don't know if you guys brought up the
we have been off topic.
Recycled water. You know what
I mean? Oh, yes.
Yeah, if you know what I'm saying.
We didn't talk about that yet. We did not talk about that yet.
I was wondering, it's like, okay, can we bring that up or yeah, let's just say liquid that you can we actually say
Street?
Yeah, you can say
right,
it.
you're
Just go
in.
ahead and say it.
Oh yeah, I heard about that. Somebody was drinking their pee. The fact that people have to drink their
resort
pee
to that is kind of insane.
It's insane.
I think that's a little extreme.
Oh yeah, I remember hearing.
So I'm going to go out on a limb and say that was probably me, but I didn't need it that way.
Hello.
Wait. Let me explain.
Okay, how are you going to explain this?
I was like, okay, let's do the real thing. Because it's so bad, you might as well just do it.
Guys.
Okay, there, girls.
That's how bad it was.
All right, hold on. All right, stop. So, Mike, I need you to start that from the beginning, and I want to give him a chance to explain because I didn't actually hear it. I'm pretty sure nobody else heard it.
Yeah.
I want you to explain it. To me. Make it. I want you to explain it to us like you're talking to a 5-year-old.
Yes.
Like dumb it down a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was making a joke in the Discord that basically because the water situation was so bad, we might all have to just do that instead because there's no water accessible to anyone.
Safe water.
So
Okay.
it's safe to say. So this is just for the staff that are watching. It's safe to say, and I know everyone said we kind of went off topic. In a sense, we haven't
Yeah, 'cause
really, because all of it is
This is all about the
relevant.
water. Hold on, wait.
Oh yeah, it's all
need to,
relevant. We're just
I need to
jumping
raise you
topic.
about
And,
the pee bottle thing. So a VTuber had on Twitter, I can't remember the username, but they're a pretty big VTuber, said that one of their fans went home and then bottled his own urine and came there to find her to show her he can drink it.
No mames. Oh
So
my god.
it could potentially be that and not because he was just
Yeah.
so thirsty. He
Yeah,
was a
it's just
thirsty like
Yeah, it's that dead because
it's just the thing was like when you say that, it's like, okay, it doesn't help like the whole water situation because it's like,
Yeah.
okay, worst timing, you know what I mean?
yeah, worst time.
But did y'all talk about like the security or anything like that?
We haven't gotten to that yet.
Security.
We still have a
Captain
we still have a lot to
Mexico, let
cover,
me
and
send-
just to let you know, there are staff members watching, so shout out to them for actually caring and wanting to better the con.
So here's the one more thing about the whole water thing. One of the comments said, "Does Starbucks actually deny free water to cosplayers? I had some cosplay friends get some with no issues, but didn't know they were giving free water till after the con was done."
No, yeah, we confirmed that they were denying free water to cosplayers.
So I do have an image that was
Man
sent to
versus
me.
wild. In the comments.
Man
I'll share
versus
it later.
Yes.
So this might be Whole Wheat Pete, who knows. Shout out. Okay, so quick shout out to everyone watching. Hit the thumbs up button, please, if you're watching. That way it can help us. Let's talk about the cosplay competition next. We're going to talk about security after that.
Yeah.
But let's talk about one of the biggest subjects that people have not that has not died down, hasn't slowed down. People talk about it. People are
they have been talking
absolutely
about this one,
pissed.
and it was like the cosplay. I think there was a lot of of all the people that were talking to me about the cosplay contest. They were like, "Dude, was this even the cosplay contest? Is this like some cringe panel?" They got confused. They thought this was like a different panel.
All right, I need to preface this because I know so much. Everyone tells me everything. So they had somebody doing the cosplay contest stuff a long time ago, and then they fired them. They fired them months and months ago when they were planning for Weebcon like last year because the new head of the convention was like, "Oh, this is going to be VTuber voice actor con. This is for purely for that." And then they were like, "Oof, yeah." After like maybe 3 weeks before the con, I want to say 3, it could have been less, they realized, oh yeah, there are cosplayers there and people are expecting a cosplay contest. So then they rehired the person maybe a week before the con, and that's why the cosplay contest had pretty much nothing. And the guests who were there, who weren't there to judge the cosplay contest, had to like kind of just pick up and go, oh, I guess this is what we're doing now. So that's what I heard from an anonymous tip.
So basically what they were trying to do was like when they let the person go, they were trying to make this a VTuber voiceover thing. The best way I can describe it for anybody here locally is similar to what the first Animeverse was in Pasadena like 2 years ago, because all that was just a chance to meet guests and then have a little bit of vendors in the middle, and that was it. No panels, they didn't have any contests, nothing like that. So that kind of reminded me, like the way Dank the Puss was reporting it. I was like, in my brain, it's like, oh, it's kind of like that similar vibes, but at least Animeverse, they kind of learned their lesson and they kind of like moved to a bigger spot, added panels, etc.
Right. So, but the entire cosplay situation, so you're talking about like how the con feels, how they wanted to give the vibe they were going for, but the whole situation with the cosplay competition reminded me of the one year with IkiCon, where, and I probably shouldn't have mentioned their name. Sorry, guys. There was one year where the cosplay competition got shut down halfway through it. Halfway through the competition, they shut it down. Not all the walk-ons had gone on. The skits hadn't gone on. I was in charge of the halftime show because I negotiated something with the events coordinator, with the cosplay coordinator of IkiCon that year. So we were going to do, because I was hosting a competition, and so I got the halftime show slot. Like literally, as one cosplayer is walking on the stage, the guests ran on stage and started giving out awards. The walk-on was still on stage when the guests ran up there, and not all the walk-ons had gone up. They shut down the cosplay competition just because Vic was rehearsing in the room next door and he had it shut down.
Wow.
That is the same vibe that I got. It's not the same situation, not the same outcome, not
Similar
the same
energy,
thing,
yeah.
but it's similar energy to where the cosplay event coordinator, the person in charge of the cosplay competition, was put in a no-win situation. They were put in a, hey, look, we need a cosplay competition. Here's $5 and a Subway coupon. Make it work.
Does Subway even give out coupons anymore?
It's a.
I know. It's like, does it even give out at this point? Why?
They no, actually, they still do. They still do.
Yeah, but they don't work.
That's why. That's okay. Here's $5 and an expired Subway coupon.
There you go. Perfect.
So, here's the thing. I have, and to address Hina.
Yeah, the parking was pretty bad too.
We haven't addressed it yet.
Yeah, we'll bring that up because that became a big factor point later on.
And we found our weave staffer. Yeah.
One of them.
Yeah.
Oh my god, hi.
That's
right. So
hopefully we didn't get them doxxed.
I feel like that was a very, how do I put this in a nice way?
Blunt, yeah, just say it delicately.
Just say it.
That was a poor piss fucking dumbass decision.
There we go.
There you go.
You, like, seriously, no. If you're going to cancel the cosplay competition, look, even Traders Village Comic, I don't know if they used to have one. They don't have it anymore. It's just literally it's just a flea market with a couple of voice actors.
Yeah.
Right. But there are cons that are strictly just flea market, because that's all the vendor's room is. I hate to break it to you, but it's a flea market. It's a really awesome flea market where they sell all kinds of crap that I can't find on the internet. I love it. I love the vendor's room. I like to spend money. Look at my background. It's Dragon Ball. You can't really see all of it, but I have Dragon Ball Z shit in my background. But if you're going to cancel if you're going to cancel that competition, first off, that was a dumb decision. But if you're going to do it and it's already 2 weeks until the con starts, there is no real reason why you should bring it back. Why? Because it's too close to the show. You got to get guests. You're going to get last minute guests where you're going to get certificates. You're going to print out a certificate on a tissue paper at the FedEx booth at the hotel. What are you going to get? Some plaques?
That they didn't use.
That they did not utilize.
Did they not?
They did not utilize the FedEx print shop.
I mean, there's only so much that shop can do anyway. What are they going to print out a piece of paper? Here you go.
They probably used it for those guest badges that were all just paper.
So I feel like you should have never taken off the cosplay competition. And cosplay competitions are essential for anime conventions.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not so much gaming conventions or collectible card game conventions. Even it doesn't Collecticon. Anyone going to Collecticon? Don't they have a cosplay competition?
When I went in November, no, it was just a card. Basically, it's similar to Animeverse, basically.
Okay. Oh, that makes sense, I guess.
And then, I know TGC Con had a cosplay contest, but that's another clusterfuck of a
so
con.
Like it sounds like I'm kind of going back and backtracking and kind of like not making sense. But those aren't anime conventions. When was the last time you guys went to an anime convention and they didn't have a cosplay competition? Well, and then you're probably wondering, well, Weebcon is a VA con, it's a Twitch con, it's a voice talent con, it's a I'm gonna go get this Funko Pop autographed and then sell it on eBay for $100 con.
Nope, we're not gonna. Oh man, that's another mess.
No, it's another mess too.
It was awful.
That was atrocious.
Yeah, I've seen hundreds of cons that have like people with like wagons full of Funkos to just assign them an authentic.
That's because they started this whole like, hey, mail me your pop, give me $30 and I'll go get you the autograph. And some cons even started doing that on their own.
Mm-hmm.
Like, hey, give us your money, give us a pot, we'll sign and mail it back to you. Some cons have actually started adopting that business model, so it's picking up. But here's the thing is, it's called Weebcon.
Yeah.
It's Weeaboo-con.
I mean, we have to say
You're
it.
not wrong.
It's an anime convention.
Yep.
Why? Because even though you can be a weeb for anything, people associate anime fans and weebs alike. Like, oh, they're one and the same.
Mhm.
So to get rid of the cosplay competition, like I said, that was really dumb. But then you're going to you're going to hire this person back. You have 2 weeks to get your shit together. And they say 2 weeks. No, you have a week and a half.
Yeah.
At most.
Yep.
That's basically little to no prep time for a convention that size.
You know how long it takes? And if you're messaging, if you are a complete stranger messaging cosplayers, hey, do you want to come? Because I know from experience, you know how many times I have to message people, do you want hey, we're looking for guests on the podcast. I either get like, oh, I've never been on one. I don't feel like I'm a little shy. I'm a little nervous. Or they just flat out like by the time they see the message, it's like a month later.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of work. And you're expecting this individual to do it in a month and in a week and a half, because they don't have 2 weeks. People are like, oh yeah, they had 2 weeks. No. They didn't have 2 weeks because a few of those days are the actual convention.
Yeah.
And even then you have less than a week and a half. You probably have at most
like a few days.
8 days at most.
Yeah.
And that's pushing it.
And another thing too, I don't know if we brought it up, the schedule, like you could tell like the whole cosplay content, like the disaster and all that stuff and disorganization also into the schedule. Like they mentioned, the schedule wasn't even like posted to like 2-3 days for the convention.
Yeah. They said it was like originally supposed to be 6 p.m. Then they changed it to 7 p.m. But they started it at 6:50.
That
doesn't like that.
That actually happened with my panel. So I had a panel at 10:30 that night, Friday night, and then
sorry, that's my dog.
had a panel at 10:30 that night, and then they switched the panel to like 10 p.m. So I went to the place by
from 10 p.m.
But there was and then there was another.
And then it started like at
thing
10:45 p.m.
Yeah, it started at 10:45. They don't know how to schedule their shit, man. It's insane.
No, and like, how many times did we call someone to come help us? And like, they knew what they were doing. They were like, "I'm sorry, I don't know how to operate this. Like, I don't know how to work this."
Yes.
Yeah, some of them were kind of clueless with some of their stuff. Like, I saw on the first day, I saw somebody get one of the staff members get confronted by one of the like attendees. They're like, "Oh, okay, how do I get this?" And I'm like, "Where's this for?" I'm like, I really don't know. I'm only here for this section and that section. But I'm like, dude, that's the section they're talking about. What do you mean you don't know? And it's like kind of surreal. Like sometimes it's like, okay, do these volunteers like were educated about the stuff? Did they not know, or they're just here? It's like, oh, I'm just here because I want to get a free badge or something like that.
Like the volunteers were like pretty clueless, because I was in line trying to meet one of the actors from the One Piece cast, right? There was like a huge gap in between the line, and I didn't even know where the line started or where it ended. And so like I just kind of like plopped myself in the middle, and this guy literally, it went like 10 minutes, and he just looked at me. He's like, are you here to meet one of the actors? I was like, yeah, I am. Like, this is a line, no? He looked at me. He was like, actually, the line starts from like all the way over there. I was like, you couldn't tell me this as soon as you saw me like trying to walk in?
Yeah,
that you tell me this when I'm already like halfway in the line?
Yeah, they did that to me too on Friday when I went to go pick up my badge, and they were like, "Oh no, this isn't the line. You have to go inside that building," and it's like this giant empty hall full of like a long line just to even get the badges.
Bro,
literally,
it was so bad.
Yeah, it's just like, and it's kind of surreal because like some people had stuff like, you know, for example, panels. They had like meetups and stuff to go. You know, it kind of would have been better if they just like tell people like, okay,
gosh, don't even get me started on the meetups.
If anything, they should have, like I said, or I mentioned this before to somebody. They were like, they should have done the whole like, oh, you can either pick up your badge at like a local store or like, or something like that. You know, it kind of reduces the lines.
They did that last year, but
Yeah.
Wild West Weebs were. They could have just worked with like a comic book shop or
Yeah.
a hobby shop. They had so much places they could have worked with.
Kinokuniya or something like that. For example. Yeah, just a missed opportunity because like, hell, even like when Anime Frontier is in Dallas, we have a Kinokuniya here in Houston. They would tell us, hey, you could pick up your badge here too if you want.
Yeah,
I'm like,
I remember
there
that.
you go. I'm like, why couldn't they just do that? Ironically, Kinokuniya was one of the vendors at Weebcon.
Yep.
Yeah.
That was wasted potential over there.
Yeah, missed opportunity.
Shit. I was just thinking about that real quick. I was wondering why did they run out of badges? They have a estimated number of people that they're going to get at the con.
Yeah, that is kind of weird because
Personally, I have a theory that they probably oversold more badges than what they had.
Yeah.
And that would explain a lot of why a lot of the places that we were trying to get into were over capacity. Because we tried to go to a panel and they checked all of our badges and our IDs and everything, and then when we were about to go in, they were like, actually the panel's at full capacity right now, and we're like, what?
Especially when they're huge panels like that Has Been Hotel one, that line spanned the entirety of the third floor.
Yes. And then the meetup was 10 times worse because they were having meetups in this tiny little room.
Yeah, we had to. I was at the Demon Slayer one on Friday, and we had to share it with the Persona ones. Like we had to split the room. Like
literally, I went to the Has Been one on Saturday, and like it was half Has Been, and I forgot what was the other fandom in there. But the Has Been cosplay people, it took up over half of the room. That we had to shove and push to make our way to get our photos. It was so bad.
You said half has.
No, like so basically half
the fandom was like Has Been Hotel.
So I'll give you one example. Like half of it was like Demon Slayer, the other half was Persona.
That's I got that, but when it sounded like half-ass.
Oh yeah, the song was half-assed, but like
yeah, I mean it was half-assed.
Yeah, like
it sounds like so. This is what I'm getting from, and this is kind of, if you didn't know anything about cons, this was your first convention. This con was probably, so for some people that are watching, this con was awesome. This con was great. So the reason why I'm doing this, because this is a reminder. Not everyone has the exact same experience at a convention. There are people that go for panels. There are people that go for autographs. There are people that go for the dance. There are people that will go, one of our staff members, who will go to the con and spend the entire time in the hotel room playing Fallout on his damn Steam Deck, doing absolutely nothing. He'll go to the con for 30 minutes and then like that's it. There are people that have different experiences. They go to cons for different reasons.
Yeah.
So not everyone had the same experience. Some people had a shit time with the parking. Some people had a shit time with
security.
Where some people had a run-in with the vendor with the incident.
Yeah,
we're gonna get into that.
Yep.
People had a bad time with the dealer's room. Somebody in the vendor's room got their leg crushed.
Yeah.
And not everyone knew about that. Because loadouts happen after the con has ended.
Yeah, because at that point, like everybody has to believe, everybody's already gone and all that stuff, and people probably wouldn't have known.
Right. So it makes sense that a lot of people didn't know about, somebody getting their leg crushed by a pillar. And I'm not trying to make light of the situation. That's legitimately what it said in the text. Was there a lack of capable security? Yes, absolutely.
Yep.
Now,
are we going to get to security right now, or?
We are just to address just kind of to add to the cosplay competition.
Yeah.
Like I said, if you're going to do something, you got to commit to it. If you're going to do the cosplay competition, commit to it. Give yourself months in advance to prepare. If you're not going to do the cosplay competition, which in my mind is nearsighted, then commit to that. Commit to not doing a cosplay competition. Because what are you trying to accomplish with this convention? Is it a voice actor convention or voice talent? I mean, is it like a Twitch con? Is it a gaming con? Is it tabletop gaming, horror? Is it a BDSM con?
Oh,
Those exist.
Those do exist. Yes,
Dude.
they
Those
do.
do exist.
Those do
I need
exist.
to go.
Is it an adult con? Is it is it 21 and plus con? Is it a gun convention? Is it a adult content convention?
A toy show
OnlyFans
convention. Yeah.
Toy show. Yeah.
It's a
Whatever it is.
for-profit con.
It's a no, a lot of cons are, and that's fine. You can be for profit because you know what? If you don't make money,
Too
there
much
is no next year.
Yep.
Yeah.
And people don't like when I was like 20 and I interviewed the owner of YoCon, and I'm like, so what made you get into like hosting anime convention? He said, like, well, it's a good way to make money. At the time, I kind of felt heartbroken, like, oh, why you should be doing it for the love of anime, right? But at the end of now that I'm older, I realize, okay, you got to make money. You got to make people. It sounds shady, but
the older you get, the more you understand.
The more you understand it, you got to make some of that money back so you can have it again.
Yeah.
But with the cosplay competition, you got to stick to a plan. If you're not going to do it, then don't do it. If it doesn't work, you've learned your lesson, and then try to fix it for the following year. But don't cancel the cosplay competition, because first off, like there were a lot of people that did skits, and it's all over Instagram. It's all over Instagram. People made whole stories. Like it's crazy right now for all the wrong reasons.
Yeah, this is like bad publicity for them.
We're gonna be 100% with y'all guys. We're gonna be transparent. We're gonna level with you. When me and Sonic were talking about, we had a different plan today. This was not scheduled. We were gonna review Weebcon for like half an hour.
Yeah, because I was there and it was like give my experiences and then hear like, oh, any reports or anything like that. But the last, like I mentioned earlier, the last 24, 48 hours, I was seeing a lot of like people saying, oh, this con runs better than Weebcon. Even DashCon runs better than Weebcon. I'm not sure if I'll go back to Weebcon anymore or anything like that. I was like, what's going on? And then seeing all the stuff, like, okay, I absolutely understand now. I was like, okay, something is up. Even I had I had someone like a small bad incident in terms of at the con. It was like kind of weird because it's like one good example was the security. I'll bring up the security, my personal, experience with the security. I don't know why the security had like such a stick up their ass. I mean, no disrespect, but like they were really like didn't want people to do this. Oh, you can't do that. There were some cosplayers like trying to film like content for like a TikTok or YouTube, and like security wouldn't let them. And there was some, and even just standing there, the security would get up in your hell. Like one of them like bumped into me, and I was like, "Whoa, what did I do to you?" And it was like so surreal, and I was like, "Bro, like they're really taking this so seriously." Last year they were like chill, they were calm, they understood everything. This year they're like way too like serious about it. I'm like, bro, it's not that big a deal. We're just a bunch of people we're just like people, you and me. It's just some of us are in costume and some of them are just doing other things. And even I saw photographers had issues with them too, because there's like, dude, they wouldn't let us bring equipment, they wouldn't let us bring our lighting. They told us, oh, we can't shoot here, even though a year ago it was fine. Or a place here is okay, but I just don't understand it. I don't understand what happened, like a complete 180.
Just to kind of like finish up the story. So Sonic, we hadn't actually talked. We were going to talk today. Sonic was going to share his experiences. I made hey, we're going to review Weebcon. Would somebody like to come and talk about Weebcon?
And then the floodgates open.
And then that's when like one person messaged me, and they sent me this. It was Deacon Rap. Deacon Rap messages me. He sends me these crazy things. I was like, no fucking way that happened. He's like, bro, it gets worse. And he starts sending me, and then 3 people start sending me stuff because they want, and then more people start sending me stuff. And then so here's the thing. Our post this morning blew up. Our story blew up. Our post blew up. People were sharing it. People were following it. They were now subscribing to us on YouTube. Like we've never had 60 people on this show at once. Like the most we've ever had is like 20.
Yeah.
We have another guest. Alley Cat Cosplay. Thank you for joining us. Oh, you can't
Hello?
hear me, by the way.
Oh,
Oh, there you go. There you go.
There you go. Now we hear you. Sorry.
So,
Um,
just to kind of wrap up. So, we've never had 60 people. We've had at one point 70 people on this channel watching at once.
mhm.
This is how bad it's gotten. This
Yeah.
is how much it's blown up. Matsuri's episodes don't get this big. Like I said,
No, they don't.
25 at the most.
Yeah,
And somebody
but
came on this, somebody snuck in on our show and showed their wiener.
I mean, it may
Goodness
seem like a
gracious.
joke, but
No, it happened. We
it
were
happened.
almost
No, that was really bad. It was a
like
rough situation.
the Ravens flock who are in our comment section. By the way, check them out.
Yeah.
Really great channel. Fucking love those guys. They're just like us, you know, trying to make people accountable. So here's the thing. This is so big.
Mhm.
This is so important.
Yeah.
And I know Weebcon. We contacted Weebcon. Like, hey, we want to be fair. We want to let you know that we're going to do this show. We do have somebody trying to join. I'm gonna kick Chris off. Sorry, Chris.
Damn.
Bye, Chris.
Bye, Chris.
Oh wait, no, you don't have to leave. Somebody left.
Yeah. No, someone left because they were having technical issues with their
Oh,
laptop.
okay. It might be the same person
Yeah.
trying to join.
Yeah.
So we're gonna move on. Sorry, I don't want to take up too much time. So here's the thing. This is so insane. We want the con to do better. That's why we. And there are legitimately some Weebcon staff members that want to make it up to you guys.
Yeah.
They want to do better. They legitimately feel bad because there's so much that happened. And we're talking about, when we say assault, I'm not talking about Pete tackling somebody into the bushes.
Yeah.
And then getting kicked out for pendejadas.
Yeah, and also like essentially damaging property in a way because like they had a lot of signs at the venue. They were like, okay, they do not. It's like, do not touch this, do not mess with this, do not step on this, and all that. Like they were
Don't
really
climb
strict.
here, you know.
Don't climb
Yeah.
here, don't climb there. But
look,
Yeah.
I have a lot of injuries. I have slipped disc, permanent nerve damage. My knees were surgically repaired. My rotator cuff, I tore it. I've broken my hands. I've broken my ribs. But I will still put foot to ass if Pete ever tackled my daughter when she becomes a cosplayer. I have a kid and she's going to grow up and she's going to become part of this community. I don't want her being tackled by some guy that wants to become TikTok famous because he doesn't want to work an 8 to 5.
yeah, which is kind of funny because it's like there, and it's kind of surreal because some of his videos have had people who are like don't look the age of it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there were some people, like some cosplayers, I'm like, dude, they look really too young, dude. Or like, is this person really 18? You want to know? Just want to make sure you're, because like his content, I understand, but there's some moments where it's like, okay, dude, you're kind of making it uncomfortable for other people who are not part of the video, you know what I mean? Because we're not trying to be like, oh, you must be fun at parties and all that. We're not trying to be like party poopers or anything like that. But it's just like, he needs to be like, people like him and like other people need to be careful with their safety because you never know, that person may have like a knife or something like to hit them, like if they get provoked, because people handle like whenever they get provoked differently,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
yeah,
sorry. Go ahead. Finish.
I was gonna say in the comment section, people are talking about the whole the Chris Chan.
Do you guys mind if I just like skip ahead? I'm so sorry. We actually take the time to address every comment. We don't do super chats. We don't do paid chats. We don't do any of that.
Yeah.
I want to address everybody's comments, but there's just no way. I'm not even I'm almost there at the bottom actually. But do y'all mind if I just skip? Let me know in the chat. How would I even see it?
Yeah.
Yeah, just keep going. Maybe I'll address it and I'll just
Chris Chan is a whole different subject for
that's a deep rabbit hole. Not everybody knows about it, but if you know, you know.
And there is a person at a convention in Houston who tried to host a panel about Chris Chan who got kicked out of that con. So we're going to dedicate an entire episode to that.
Oh boy.
In the future. So I want to give a shout out to our newest guest who joined us, Alley Cat Cosplay. Welcome.
Hi, sorry, I'm choking on some water.
No,
Oh,
it's okay.
oh no! You're joking on the very thing the con didn't
Yeah,
have.
that you needed.
Yeah, no, that they
Everything.
didn't provide at all.
So
The
I
thing they
would
overcharged
definitely.
for.
So I legitimately have no problem with this. I would just be careful with that. But we're gonna talk about the room parties. We're gonna make
Yeah,
gosh.
that's
Oh,
that.
I've been
man.
dying to talk about this.
So
Yeah.
Alley Cat, thank you for joining us. So you are so we wanted to ask you, were you a panelist, volunteer, con goer, what were you at the con?
I was a cosplay contest competitor and winner.
Okay.
Oh, you're the
Yeah.
I'm the one who had the viral post.
Mm-hmm.
Hey,
Oh,
we were
Yeah.
just
That's her.
talking about
snap.
Yep,
you.
that's her.
Oh no, I had a different
Oh,
winner.
I
It
was
was a
kind of.
different
Yeah.
winner who like didn't get anything.
wow.
I've had the previous coordinator who was removed from their position reach out to me and give me so much more context on the whole situation of why it was just that much more of a disaster. It was something.
Jesus, man.
Yeah, I
Real
don't
quick,
know if you know anything about that or not, but
I do have a question for you, and
yes.
I'll ask you after the podcast. I'm not gonna ask you now. I don't know why I even brought it up. I guess because you released these fart knocker threw me off. Just ignore us, take it as you go. That's mean, man. Make it sound like I don't care. So
Wow.
because I do care. I care about
we
everyone's
do
opinions.
care. It's just like there's so much.
It's
This is
a
the
lot.
most active we've seen the chat and the comments in a long time. So
The-
we're trying to
the-
get adjust to it. So don't take it personally if we don't like read your stuff.
This is like beyond. Like I said, this is beyond anime Matsuri levels.
So I have competed in Anime Matsuri's contest twice. It was actually the first cosplay contest I did when they were late, like by 3 hours. I would take that over what this was any day.
I'll put it to you like
really
this.
bad.
Did you
They
at
gave
least
us
get a prize
prizes.
for it?
Do you mind me asking what years you competed?
At Matsuri?
Yeah.
It was 2021.
Okay, so recently.
Okay.
Yes, it was the year that their AV staff just like quit, and so they had no tech. And then
That's about right.
John and his 2
2020.
Apple computers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then 2022.
So here's the thing. I do legitimately have beef with Matsuri for many
all
different
do.
reasons.
We all do.
So I'm going to share it with
We all
y'all.
do.
Just briefly. Well, actually, I'm not going to share that right now. I'll share it towards the end. But here's the thing. I have volunteered for Matsuri. I was in their cosplay competition. I've hosted panels. At one point, I was offered a staff position for Anime Matsuri. I was actually friends with John and Denise. I was there when Denise announced she was pregnant with her first child during Hurricane Ike when they had the curfew.
Mhm.
It was at an IHOP when Planet Zero still existed. So believe me when I say I fucking dislike Anime Matsuri, but I hate the owners. But Weebcon, after everything I've heard, Anime Matsuri does not run this bad. And I actually started going on a diet. I started drinking more water so I can piss on the grave of Anime Matsuri, so I can outlive Anime Matsuri and piss on their grave.
Oh,
Like Cornet energy.
Jim Cornet energy.
Cornet is Goku and Matsuri is Ruto. If you any
Right.
wrestling fans, if you know,
If you know, you know. Here's the thing. What I've heard from Weebcon is fucked. And that's one of the best ways to put it. Because I heard what happened. I read your post. I was talking about your post. Your post and a couple other people sharing. By the way, thank you for making that post because that shed a lot of light on that cosplay competition. So this is short story is this. People went up there, they won. They had a lot of they were like, here's the thing. They didn't get a certificate. They didn't really get anything. A couple of people got like a plaque and a handshake. they were
Yeah.
not prepared, and it's not even the coordinator's fault.
Mm-mm. So and I'm not going to name them because they've asked me not to say any names, but the original coordinator, they continually disagreed with multiple of the things that con management was giving them, and they were requesting more for the contest, and they had disagreed with management so much that they removed him from his position and brought in a completely different coordinator, extremely last minute, gave her nothing to work with. And that is kind of how we ended up in that situation. That's why none of the staff knew what they were doing. And my whole thing is, this is a sponsored con. It was sponsored by what, like V1 Tech?
Yeah, V1 Tech, and then they had a partnership with Uwu Market, which is a really big merchandiser for a lot of VTubers out there.
Okay.
So they had some pretty big muscle behind that.
Real quick. Cosplay Choco.
Yeah, so
I know you want to come on and share, but is there any way you could do that tomorrow or Wednesday? Let me know in the comments. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt y'all, but I'm actually interested to see what they have to say about that. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Okay, sorry. Oh shoot. Oh no, I lost the train of thought. No. So Anime Frontier is another very large convention with a bunch of sponsors. They get their contest prizes from their sponsors. That's a very common thing that you do when you run a cosplay contest. If they didn't want to give out prizes, they should have disclosed it. They should have called it a cosplay showcase or a cosplay red carpet. Just point blank period. It is such a devastating disrespect, because another thing in the cosplay community is it's very frowned upon to take cosplays that you've won with and recompete in them at other conventions. It's called sandbagging, if you're not familiar with it. And essentially, a lot of the winners are devastated, including myself, because we put in all that work and now we're kind of SOL because we don't know if we'll be able to actually get any retribution for these cosplays. I mean, we can try and plead our case to different coordinators and see if they'll accept us at their contest, because I mean, what did we win? I didn't win a contest. I won a shit show. But so it was a really heartbreaking experience. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you, I was pissed Saturday night, but Sunday morning, the more I thought about it and the more I typed up that post, like I cried. I did. I was deeply upset, and I'm just happy that the post has gotten such good reception, and it's reached so many people. And I've had judges reach out, I've had other competitors reach out, and just people thanking me for speaking out and echoing their thoughts and feelings. It's been an extremely validating experience, and very therapeutic. Honestly.
No, we're just glad you're able to, because not that many people would be able to, speak up, sometimes, due to like anxiety or like fear of like retaliation or like, something would happen. But, it takes a lot of toughness and confidence to, voice your concerns about something, especially how big this gotten. It's like, it's not often you get to hear that. And we really appreciate you for, speaking out, not just for a chance to be here in the show, but like also because there's people out there who may endure this in the future, or may, for any con organizers, they would watch this like, okay, we can't have our con looking like that. You know what I mean?
Oh, also, I don't know if you heard, but apparently a guy was swinging around real swords on the stage.
What?
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a minute.
Real swords?
Real swords?
Yeah, no, actually, you know what's funny about that? The weapons check, they did not fucking care. They kind of
They
did.
did.
They
I saw that comment.
I was cosplaying Ebisu from Dorohedoro one of the days, and I had like scythes made out of Warbler. The ends of those were sharp. Like you could poke someone in the eye with those. He touched them, felt them, looked at him. He's like, "Nah, you're good." And I was like, and my friend, who was another character from the show, was carrying around a fake gun for half the whole day because there was no prop check open. There was no one there.
I saw that
Yeah.
there was no prop check whatsoever. My friend, it was their first con ever. They just walked in and they were like, "I thought I was supposed to get these checked because he was cosplaying. They were cosplaying Tengen,
Yeah.
so they had
So
the swords."
there
Wild.
was a so according to I started asking around. Me and Dankpuss have been like messaging people.
There
asking
was a
around,
prop
getting-
check.
There was
yeah,
a prop
there
check,
was.
but it was
It
poorly
was off to
manned.
the side.
No sign. There was like no signs, nothing. Like it was kind
And
of
they showed up
because
very late.
on Sunday. I brought in a prop gun from Cyberpunk. I walked in there. They were like, "Yeah, you're good. You okay?"
Okay, so actually, yeah, that's a good point, Sonic. Good, thank you for bringing that up. So this is a question to the anonymous Weebcon staff members that are watching. If you could give us a statement, you can hit us up at Instagram. Let me go ahead and post our Instagram real quick. We're gonna steer away from the comment section real quick. So if you want to message me directly on Instagram, you can, or if you have anything you want to share that you want us to read, because I haven't even read all the shit that we've gotten.
Yeah.
So here's the
we
thing.
got a lot.
We have a lot. I haven't even brushed I haven't even brushed the surface. So here's the thing. I heard, and Sonic even mentioned it, that the weapons check people didn't give a shit.
No.
So I want to know from y'all. Is there like I'm not going to share what whatever you share with me, it's going to be off the record, so I'm not going to share it. But it's going to help me figure out how I can better help you. So with that being said, I heard that not only was the weapons check like almost non-existent, it existed, but it was almost non-existent, and they did the bare minimum. All right, whatever, just don't swing it around. There's no piñata around here.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, because I find it weird because there's cons where like if you're walking with an unchecked prop, there's staff that comes running up to you and they're
They
like,
will-
"Hey, bro, like, did you get them checked? Like, I don't see
I've-
anything on them. Did you get them checked? Like, prop check is there."
I've had some very, very ridiculous props checked that like you wouldn't think. Like I cosplay Chopper. I've had my
Yeah.
cotton candy checked.
Yeah.
And they put a
Yeah,
sticker on it. Like,
it's wild too because it's
I'm
like
not kidding. I've
they're
had plushies checked.
yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
So Jay, can you elaborate on that? Or were they stopped because of the weapon, of the way they were dressed? So I heard people were being like, somebody actually said they were repeatedly being stopped for their cosplay for the way they were dressed.
Oh, are we talking about the bunnies?
Yeah.
No, actually, it wasn't the bunnies.
There was a bunny cosplayer I talked to. She was gonna wear it, but like they told her like, oh yeah, you can't wear that. They thought it was too skimpy, so she switched out to like Spider Gwen.
And then a bunch of other people wearing super skimpy outfits.
Yeah.
So
A lot of double standard in a way.
So I think I do have some of the information on that. I don't have it in front of me, but I do want to I just want to say this, and we kind of talked about it, Alley Cat. So when they gave you talked to the cosplay coordinator, we heard that they only gave him 2 weeks. Like, hey, it's 2 weeks before the con. Make it work, right? So realistically, as somebody that's worked for a convention, as somebody that's worked with, and I will never do that shit again. I know for a fact that you don't have 2 weeks before a con. That person, and this is for the people watching, that person had 8 days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Realistically,
And I believe she was also admitted to like the hospital at one point, so that cut her time back even more.
Oh my god.
yeah, because the stress, like it could have been stress, it could have been underlying health reason, whatever the case may be. So we did say realistically they had 8 days. Being admitted to the hospital, guess what? Probably reduced it to 3.
Yeah.
They were probably working out of the hospital. Okay, so thank you for they said he needed to get his sword checked. They weren't rude or anything. Like we said in the show, yeah, that's fair. Everyone has a different experience and different perspective of the convention. Like not everyone. So like I'm glad that they weren't rude to them. That's actually really good. That actually does kind of help make the con. I mean, there's so much bad shit that's happened. Like it's kind of hard not to talk about the bad shit. But the cosplay competition, let me put it like this. I've always talked about panels and events. Panels and events are the heart and soul of a convention. Yeah. That includes the cosplay competition. Because without a cosplay competition, without panels, without a dance, without these events, all you have is a D&D meetup with a flea market attached to it.
Yeah.
I know it sounds bad, but we're all literally dressed up and walking around la purga, as they say.
Yep, la pulga.
La pulga. So
not la pulga.
Yeah, who doesn't love going to la pulga? You can find some cool shit in there.
The pulga has bangers, bro. What you
mean? And the best part for parking, sometimes you only pay like $5 to get in.
Bro, tell me why the pulga parking is cheaper than what Weebcon was charging.
We are going to talk about parking, but somebody brought it up.
Fucking accurate.
We need to. So let's address 2 different topics. Let's address the water. Was it pre-workout roofie?
Oh god!
Incident, and we're going to address the room party incidents. We're not going to talk fully on it. I do have some things to share. A lot of it's going to be talked about tomorrow because we're calling tomorrow's part 2 episode 2211. For those of you that don't know, there was somebody that made a post in the room 2211. They were assaulted.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. It has gone viral. People have talked about it. People have even shared who they think did it. So we can't share that. As much as I want to, as much as like I'm positive that is the case, I can't. Why? Because it would mess up like us as press. But here's the thing, we're going to talk about that. The person who made the post, the victim themselves, they will come on the show tomorrow to talk about it. They're going to share their story tomorrow. And I'm not gonna lie to you. I talked to Sonic already. I talked to Dankapus. I talked to Sonic. I talked to Deacon Rap. Tomorrow's gonna be the hardest. The last time we did an episode like that, it was hard. It's not easy.
Yeah, and that was what, like last week.
Jesus.
Yeah, this one's gonna get emotional.
Well, no, it was with the incident in Florida. Remember, with the guy pretending to be staff.
Oh, that was a rough one.
Yeah. So tomorrow, that's gonna be like, it's gonna be rough. So
it's gonna be rough, and we're just gonna give a heads up. It's gonna, if you feel uncomfortable, there's gonna be some moments. Listener discretion is advised.
It might be a slow episode where people aren't talking as much because you got to give them a chance to breathe, to gather themselves. It's not gonna be easy. We do have some other people that are coming on as well to talk and to share, because we don't want to dedicate the full 2 hours to that one subject.
Yeah.
So with that being said, let's talk about so I'm hearing different stories. I'm hearing it's a pre-workout supplement. I'm hearing that it was roofies. I'm hearing it was a fusion of the two. I'm hearing it was different vendors. I'm hearing it's the same vendor.
It was the gamer subs.
Nope. That's where Dinkapus comes in. That's where Dinkapus, the one who knows absolutely everything, comes in. I got the full story once again. So it was UKO, but it was also like it was also a little bit of the advanced GG. Gamer subs was not there, and someone, and this was confirmed by another anonymous staff member, that someone put alcohol in the UKO. But when you mix pre-workout with alcohol, it gives you the same effect as being under a roofie. And they just took whatever bottle of alcohol and just poured it into all of the UKO. So somebody allegedly, we don't know really who did it, but there was somebody who admitted to drugging people at Colossal Con. That weird coincidence that happened at another con this guy was at, but other people were accusing the cosplayers working directly with UKO with spiking those drinks, and this needs to be said that UKO is handling it. They have lawyers at the ready. They're actively searching for whoever is accusing them. They're actively searching for whoever is whoever did it. So watch your ass. Also, yes, I've had several people confirm that there were at least 4 ambulances called for this specific incident as well.
My God.
So you mentioned the guy drugging people at Colossal Con. I was actually one of those people that the guy drugged at Colossal Con.
Oh my God.
Yeah, for everybody in the Weebcon Discord who is asking for proof, here's some of it. I've had at least 4 people tell me and confirm with me with hospital records and stuff, this man did drug them.
And I was walking in the atrium, and he had walked past me, and I stopped dead in my tracks and I was in shock. Also, this man, I'm pretty sure, is a neo-Nazi. He has he has dog whistles in his Instagram profile. Also,
whistles up the ass.
and
also, we can't really say that word, but yes, he is a supremacist.
Yeah, Twitch.
Safe word,
Twitch.
Sorry.
No, you're fine. So let me put it out there. This is a shot at them. Twitch, YouTube, do better.
Yep. Better.
Oh, but
yeah,
I
we
did
shouldn't be
report
censored
him.
for talking about this stuff.
Yeah, no,
Like,
I did report him to the Gaylord security. I will say the security for the hotel took my statement very seriously. They were all very kind. They got my information, all my friends' information that I was with, and they said they would keep an eye on him, that they had already gotten reports about him and to keep an eye out on him. So they were taking it seriously, which was nice to hear.
Yeah.
So I'll read statement from the person supposed, in which their entire thing, also like their entire profile, several of their profiles, if you know their full name, has a lot of like supremacist stuff and ideology on it, a lot of supremacist dog whistles. But here is his basically confession, in which I need to preface this with, if you give anyone a substance without telling them that it is a substance, by legality, you're drugging someone.
Yeah.
So
no.
Basically, just admitted it.
So he basically admitted it here in the statement being, I need to address a story about Colossal Con. I drugged a DJ. The truth was I shared edibles with several people and didn't realize how strong they were. I feel stupid and don't really touch them anymore because of that experience. As for the WS allegations, I'm laughing because now I know why security thought my umbrella patch was a hate symbol. Anyways, this is enough for the drama. I just want to address it. So, other people have actually found his full name and everything. I'm not going to dox him, but they looked through all his profiles and they found several images of him admitting that he is a supremacist. And even more wild, they found pictures of him wearing women's outfits saying that he is a neo-N by day and a femboy by night. So take with that as you will.
How does that? Okay, so I might not be the smartest person in the world, but how does that work? Don't they like
There's a
hate each other?
pipeline. That's all I can say. There's a pipeline.
Not
a very well-known internet pipeline.
How are you a femboy and also a Nazi?
For
There's
all
a
of
I
you
want
that,
to, but he somehow does it.
where are my Spanish speakers at? Where are
Dude
my
really thought he
Spanish
was Batman
speakers?
with that one.
Let's
Okay.
ask the Polish.
For all my
Polish,
Spanish
Finnish people,
speakers,
explain yourself.
Some people should.
for all my Spanish speakers, mis latinos, la raza, la gente, mi gente que están aquí ahorita. Yo quiero decir algo, mira. Pinches gringos. Pinches gringos. So let me translate real quick. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Let me translate real quick. This community.
Yeah, basically that.
Basically.
Yeah,
So,
do that.
there's one
Yeah,
of the in the comments, someone
Very
wrote,
colorful words.
someone in the comment section said this. So here's a little PDA for anybody out there. If you or someone gets roofied, symptoms include loss of coordination, confusion, drowsiness, and anxiety. Call 911 immediately because most roofies are drug cocktails. So just keep that in mind for anybody out there. A little
But as
PSA out there.
somebody that has been roofied, it's kind of hard to make that connection because by the time you start, some people are already drinking, they've had a lot to drink, and when it kicks in, it's kind of, you don't know if it's like you've been slipped something or if it's just the alcohol like reminding you that you're getting old. And like it's happened to me twice.
Wow.
It happened to me, and the fucked up part is it happened to me at the last time it happened to me was at a convention in Austin. We were at their karaoke and the guy was like, "Hey, I brought you a drink." And I will admit I was being an asshole. I was an asshole, I was a dick. At the time I was a piece of shit. And I will admit it and I apologize. But at the same time, I'm not sorry. Because when he brought that drink to her, I literally snatched it out of his hand and said, "Thanks, bro. How'd you know I was thirsty?" I didn't fucking know he had roofied it.
Wow.
Because I
Keep in
blacked
mind,
out.
you know,
Your
some people are
intuition
just
came
sick.
strong in that one.
I was just like, people are like, "Oh, that was so brave of you, like your intuition, your instinct." No, I was just being an asshole.
Right place, right time.
Like hotel,
Anti-hero
like
stuff.
Constaff had to drag me back to my room. I'm pretty sure that girl walked back to her hotel room. So I mean, I'm not sorry. I'm sorry that it took like something asshole-ish. It took like the actions of an asshole. And I didn't realize it was. I didn't know it was. I was just being a dick. And like, there's like, I'm glad that happened to me and I'm glad that she's okay. But at the same time, it's like, shit, you know, I got to get my shit together. Anyways, so we're not going to, so if you want more information on what's going on with this individual, because it happened to Alley Cat, it happened to somebody that Dangapus knows. It's happened to several people that we know personally. We can't share this on the stream, but we can definitely share. We have more liberties in our Discord where we can share more tea because we're not on the record. So just so that everyone's aware. There's a difference between being live because we have to follow rules, regulations. And if we want to be taken as press, as journalists, there's a line that we can't cross.
Yeah. Journalism major here. So I'm basically the monitor, basically.
Yeah, it sucks. It sucks. I'm going to tell you right now, it sucks. But it is what it is. So there was a lot of people getting sick. So there is another story. So there was the incident with the pre-workout supplements and that going on in the group. But someone in the room parties was also, there was a report that somebody in the room parties was also slipping shit to people.
It's probably the same person. Let's be honest.
I think it was somebody else.
It could be. It could be
Because it
someone
has-
else. Nobody really knows.
Because they're saying it's related to the we talked about this earlier about the individuals that are being accused of the assault.
Yeah, they're saying it's related to that. But I know one of those individuals was actually going around and helping those people and calling ambulances for them as well.
No, that person we talked to, we're not going to get into that here.
Yeah,
So,
that's a
like,
different.
That's a private conversation. So
yeah.
How many? Okay, so I want like just say me, or you don't have to say anything. But how many of y'all went to any of the room parties in the con?
Nope.
I thought
crickets.
I heard they banned room parties, so it was like, yeah, maybe not this year.
Yeah.
So
there was room parties though.
Yeah, it says one of the comments here says there was on floor 5 because there was a room party literally right next to me. So I guess there was a room party.
So here's
Yeah,
the
there's
thing.
a room party on 7 in my part of the hotel. So there
Here's
were
the thing.
several parties.
We throw room parties. I'm gonna put it out there. We throw room parties, but our parties are small. Like I'll text people like, "Hey, you want to come over, get some drinks before we head down to the con?" Because I got panels to host anyway. So like our parties are like 8-10 people at most. Like I don't have a packed room. Like it's 10 people in a room, but like 5 or 6 of them are people actually staying in the room.
Right.
Because we're cosplayers. We pack people like sardines.
Yeah, it's kind of like what perfect example was like Delta H like a couple of years ago. It'd be like I don't know, like
I was
at least
actually
9 or 10 people.
I was actually going to get to that one.
Oh,
So
sorry.
at Delta H Con, we actually throw a room party. It's a big room party because we get the suite and the 2 connecting rooms. The con is very much aware of our room party. Let me tell you why they know. Because we had a concert in our room.
No exaggeration, by the way.
We literally had a concert in our hotel room. We had a metal band come out and perform. Like you could barely hear them in the hallway because they did an acoustic. It was awesome. Like the con knew, like the hotel staff knew. As a matter of fact, the general manager is like, "Hey, welcome back. Hey, check them in. Get them into their regular room." Let me tell you why. Because we would clean up the room. We'd break nothing. The room looked spotless. It looked trash during the weekend, but once we were all said and done, it was clean. We cleaned it. We put everything back.
Yeah.
The hotel staff knew. As a matter of fact, when the hotel staff they saw people going in my room, they saw like 3 guys and 3 girls walk into my room, and they're like, "Oh snap! I see some girls over there. They look young. Like I think they're going to a room party. Hey, that's my room." And the hotel staff were like, "Oh, then you can just let us in." They walk in there, they see the girls. They're like, "Oh wait, y'all aren't young."
No, just gotta be safe. Yep, better safe than sorry.
So this is something that we started doing. We started IDing people before they come into our room. One of the staff members told me to my face, "Bro, I asked my son, hey, are you going to that room party?" Because he was 19. And he said, "No, they're IDing people at the door." When he told me you made that announcement, that was the single smartest thing like anyone has ever done. Because people know, because you advertise, you don't hide it. You invite people. But you're like, "Oh, okay, we have," like I even provided wristbands to the con. "All right, we're going to check IDs for karaoke. You get 21 and up, you get a wristband. You're allowed to drink because I can't stop you from drinking. The hotel has a bar. But if you don't have a wristband and I see a beer in your hand, I'm kicking you out." Like literally, I've told this to many people. I don't play that game. Like there are no closed doors in my room unless you have your own room. Like that's another story for another day with the band. Something like it was consensual, by the way, before anybody takes that out of context. It was funny, but consensual. We make sure everyone's taken care of. As a matter of fact, when I have to go host karaoke, I kick everyone out. "All right, everyone get the fuck out. Get the fuck out. Can't go home, but you can't stay here. All right, freeloaders, So we have really strict rules now because I've been going to room parties since A-Fest 2008. I've seen a lot of parties. I've seen horrible shit happen at these parties, and I've seen some parties that are amazing, that are safe. I've seen some that are bad. I've seen parties where it's nothing but like adults who are clearly old enough to drink. And I saw I've seen parties where there's like 19-year-olds in there. So we've learned, and it kind of feels like there used to be room parties all over the place. Akon is infamous because a lot of bad shit happened at those parties. Now there are people like that are just using room parties to kind of like take advantage of others or screw people over. It's bad, man. It's so shitty. Like I don't even want to do room parties anymore. We don't even do parties. We just like, "Hey, who wants to come over and drink?" And then like you'll knock at the door. We'll check to make sure you're invited. "Okay, cool. Come in and have a drink. We're about to go downstairs." But like room parties have become so bad. Like they've always been kind of bad, but I feel like they're just getting worse. If that makes any sense to anybody here.
Seems like lots of things are getting worse.
It does really, because it's I want, like we talked about this. We want weave. Oh no, it is weave. Sorry, Weavcon to I almost called it weave. You know, like the wig. Weeabookan. We want them to be successful. We want them to be better. We want them to grow. But like the cons gotta acknowledge there's something wrong. Maybe the venue is just how many years have they been at this stupid venue?
Weebcon 4.
Wait, this is the 4th?
Yeah, it doesn't
Yeah,
feel
this
like
is the
it, but
4th
it is.
year.
I thought this was the second. Fuck, I'm
Hell
out of the
no,
loop.
Nah,
This
dude.
is the 4th year.
Nah,
And it
last
just
year.
keeps getting worse and worse, I hear.
It's literally going
Mhm.
downhill.
Yeah, literally.
This
Oh
was
my god.
already in hell.
And
so.
and I was in my and this is my second time I went, so it's nothing.
2 years at the Gaylord? Oh, okay.
Yeah, 2 years at the Gaylord.
And there's like, look, Bri,
But
my boy.
4th year as Weebcon. So
I didn't know it was 4 years though. I'm over here sitting. Oh, it's like their second year, right? And then someone's like, no.
If it was the second year, then yeah, that's a big. This should be a bigger deal.
Right? Like, what the fuck? It's their 4th year. You think they would have had this shit down by now? No, I don't want to talk shit. I don't want to talk shit. But like, seriously, 4 fucking years. Seriously,
It doesn't
what
feel
the-
like it. Yeah.
Here's the thing though, and thanks, my boy Bri guy. He's got a point though. Geeks Fiber parties, like I said, we had a concert. We always have some kind of something fun and crazy, not like something that will get people hurt or in trouble or anything. I think the craziest thing was that's the craziest thing we've ever had. The concert. We had a party at IkiCon one year where the hotel even provided security. It was awesome. So there is a right way to do room parties. If you're going to do a room party, even if you're not an official part of the con, like I think, and this is something I'm going to get shit for this, but maybe you should let one of the con staff people know, like, hey, kind of throwing a room party, because they're not going to shut you down. The hotel will shut you down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's beyond the con's control.
Right. But the con at least knows that, hey, if there's an ambulance called for this room, they know who's in charge. Because like people that have room parties should start being held accountable. And sometimes it's out of our power. When we were at Delta, when we went to go host karaoke, our door was open. So somebody went in there and ransacked through our shit and stole $500 from my wallet. Now that's on me for not closing my door because I had this open door policy. But I learned from that. I'm going to take from it. And it's very important, guys, that I shouldn't have to say this to anybody. It should be common knowledge, but don't take drinks from strangers.
Yep.
If someone's going to pour your drink, watch them pour the drink. There's a reason why a lot of us now have closed container bottles. I don't know if you guys noticed that all the people that party and drink now have like bottles that are closed.
Yeah. Which is kind of smart because a lot of people are like bringing like these Stanley cups and all that stuff, and it's like I don't remember the last time I ever saw like, it's been a long time since I've ever seen a cup that's like open, like those red solo cups or something like that. I have not seen that in a while.
Nope.
And it's like
I don't even like those.
Yeah, it's like I never understood why people always drink, but it is cool to see a lot of people like being more protective in a way. But unfortunately, sometimes you could let your guard down for like a second and they could take advantage. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the sad, unfortunate part.
Right. So, I mean, just what are your thoughts on the, because I know there was at least two. There was the one on the 5th floor that we were made aware of. And then there was 2211. I'm pretty sure. Does anyone here not know the story about 2211?
I don't.
I would
completely unaware.
We talked
I've heard a
about
couple
this
things about like room parties, but like never.
Nini,
I'm
we
pretty
talked
sure
about
some
this.
people have heard some stuff, but not everything.
We talked
Okay,
about
so
that's
we're
kind
gonna
of where
keep
I'm
it.
at.
We're gonna give you a summarized bullet point because I want to save
Cliff
it for
notes.
tomorrow.
Yeah.
There was an individual who was assaulted in the bathroom in 2211.
My God.
as they were blacking out.
Yep.
So that is what happened.
I'm literally speechless at that information.
I feel like I'm gonna throw up.
Yeah, that is intense.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like it sucks. It's horrible. It sucks because I don't know the full story because I kind of do based off of what the victim has shared with me.
Mm-hmm.
I know their part, but I don't know there's so much that I don't know, and it baffles me. It's confusing. I want to know. I want answers. And it's like and you can't blame the con for that. Really.
Mm-hmm.
People want to blame the convention, but you can't. Because that happened in a hotel room.
Yeah, that was something that was not the convention's control, like I said earlier. It's just like
That's just like horrible people
Yeah,
who
just
have like a sick
That's
and
a community
twisted mind.
problem.
yeah.
Yeah.
And like it's crazy. So one of our commenters shared with us, and this is not Weebcon, this is a different con. We made a video about this guy who was like being a little bit racist, and he was talking trash about certain movements. We're not a political channel. We're not gonna go into that discussion.
Mhm.
But he tried to, and Sonic knows who I'm talking about, and DJ might know. This individual tried to host a Christian, right? Christian, am I saying that
Yeah,
right?
Christian. Yep,
Christian panel. And
the con didn't let
based off of their beliefs, their views, it was going to be a very controversial. This panel was created to piss people off.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. And I want to give a shout out to an event coordinator. I know who I pissed off. And I'll tell you how I pissed him off. I call myself the most chaotic panelist and podcast host in all of Texas. That's just the name. I'm not actually chaotic. I'm actually pretty organized. I start on time. I end on time. I clean up after myself. I can put asses in seats when it comes to my panels. So I know, like, when I say I'm chaotic, like, I kind of am, because the way the panels are structured, they're meant to be more fan interactive. And that's like a foreign concept, apparently, to some people. But when I say this panel would have really pissed off a lot of individuals, I had to give a heads up to the con, like, hey, y'all might want to keep an eye on this person because they're going to piss off a lot of people. They canceled that panel for good reason. This person, the following year, got kicked out of that same con for taking upskirt photos.
Oh boy.
Jesus Christ.
And like, I made a podcast about them. I was like, hey, look, this person's got issues, help them out. Somebody talk to them, somebody be a friend. I'm not saying go and bully them. I'm not saying like harass them. Like, go ahead, help this person, please, because they need to be educated. Not politically educated, but they need help.
Mm-hmm.
And this person blew it up. So that's when we say that it's getting worse. That's what I mean. Like, it is getting worse. Because now, like, we've heard stories from 10, 20 years ago, people taking upskirt photos, people doing like really crazy things.
Yep.
Conventions with staff members that are like the nice guy, or like the groomer, or anything like that. We've heard the stories.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
We've heard the rumors. We've heard the, as Conrad would say, the innuendo.
Yeah, for you wrestling fans, y'all know.
If you know, you know.
Yeah.
But
the rumor and innuendo.
I feel like it somehow is getting worse, and I don't even know how to explain how, like, why is it getting worse? Like, when I was growing up, this is what we dreamed of. We wanted to be a part of the community that would accept us. we were in the closet nerds. We were in the closet Power Ranger fans. We were in the closet Pokemon fans. We were in the closet anime fans.
Yep.
And now we're a part of a community where we're accepted, but there's gatekeeping, there's fighting, there's people being fucking stupid and tackling pillars and tackling people in the bushes
for clout.
Yep.
I feel like Weebcon could have done it could have been a lot better if they had just better security. And that's another subject we're going to get into, the security. I heard that there was security at the con that just basically didn't give a shit.
No. Well, it's more like the con itself, but like the security themselves, they were like really in with their jobs. Like, I know we brought it up earlier about how some photographers, they had all this equipment and security was like really uptight about it, which is kind of weird because a year earlier you could have gone, they would have no issues. But for some reason this year they had a lot of issues with some of these. There was even, I don't know if you saw this, Goku, or anybody out here saw it in the Facebook group. There's a footage from somebody in the balconies of the hotel rooms. They actually got a video of a cosplayer being confronted by like 3 or 4 security guards.
Oh Jesus!
That might have been a toasted bread, Pete.
No, it's not. It
wasn't.
No.
Okay,
No.
I thought it was because somebody
not.
sent that to me, and I thought that might have been related to because ironic. Like so, Pete he went whole wheat Pete went on Discord and like bitched and complained like yada yada yada.
Yep.
And everyone told him to fuck off, so he didn't really get any sympathy.
Did y'all see Nishi Fest announced him as a guest?
Yeah, we actually talked about that. So Geeks 5 Ever will not be at Nishi Fest because I don't feel like going to jail for retaliating against somebody who decided to tackle me into a bush, a tree, or a fountain.
Yeah.
Fair.
I actually have to bow out, but I wanted to thank you for allowing me to come on and say my piece and everything. I really appreciate it.
No, yeah, thank you very much for coming on here and joining us. Actually, I guess we can have somebody fill in for you.
Yeah.
Cosplay Coco had some things to say.
Yeah, I would love to allow someone else to come in and say what they need to say.
All right, guys, as people are going to be bowing out early. So as they bow out, we are going to allow some people to come in and share their piece. Like I said, we're going to only have 2 parts today. We're only going to have today and tomorrow. I don't feel like doing a third part because at that point it'll be beating a dead horse. We'll have what we need and we're going to send it to Weebcon and see how they take it. So Cosplay Choco, if you can message me on, if you want to still come on, if you could message me on Instagram, that'd be awesome. But like, dude, like we're talking about security. I don't know if you guys, I heard, maybe y'all can elaborate on this. I heard they didn't do any kind of, so I heard Weebcon was a huge con, like 10,000 people. Is there any truth to that? Did it feel like that?
I don't know.
Not really. It just,
I wouldn't say it felt like it was like that many people either.
Yeah.
I just feel like the space wasn't utilized very well.
Yeah, the
it
efficiency
really
of the space
wasn't.
wasn't utilized.
All right. So, maybe, do you think they should have had a bag check?
Yes.
Yeah.
I feel like there were people actually complaining like they didn't have a bag check, and y'all brought it up. People had somebody mentioned it in Discord. A lot of cons had bag checks.
Comic Palooza going into GRB, you have to go through the bag checks every time you get in there.
They do more than a bag check. They are like TSA at this point.
Yeah.
They rubber gloves, please. If they are like, I'm not even kidding. If they're any more thorough, they owe me dinner and a movie.
I think that every convention that you go to should have a bag check.
Yeah.
Especially because
Anime Expo, they have that.
Yeah.
like
I mean,
especially if
even
it's, like,
big,
a big
huge
one.
cons, like PAX East and or
Mhm.
well now just whatever the penny arcades and things like
Yeah,
that, like
PAX,
they
yeah.
I mean they all have bag checks and stuff, and every time you leave
Mhm.
you have to, when you come back in, you got to get checked again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I don't
Yeah.
know why it would be that difficult. I feel like security in this sense was really just for this convention was just really really bad. I mean you could have gotten inside so easily and brought anything with you. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys know much about the parking situation downstairs, but you could have literally just walked in through the parking lot downstairs, gone upstairs, showed them a regular bag, and skirted. Like I never saw a bag check.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
Nah,
literally,
they're
that's how I came in, and I never saw a bag check.
yeah. That's how but and especially they're busy beefing with like other fucking cosplayers about shit they
Yeah,
shouldn't fucking be
about
beefing about.
ridiculous things.
Yeah. They're too busy doing that.
Yeah.
Quick shout out to, like, it's been crazy today, guys. I just want to we're going to continue talking, and we got Choco coming on the if anybody's interested, let me know on the Instagram. But a shout out to everyone that's been sharing the story, sharing, like, just wanting to be heard, right? Because that's what we want. We want, like, hey, like, somebody pissed in my Cheerios. How are you going to make sure that you take steps to make sure that shit doesn't happen next year? And that sounds like a
Yeah.
poor example, but it's just an example that came off the top of my head. But like you said, just to go back to that subject, I am a firm believer, and I agree that the con should have a bag check.
Oh, it definitely should. It definitely needed one.
Definitely did.
Yeah.
I
I've been
We
to like smaller cons in like the valley, like over there by McAllen. I've been to cons over there. They're super small, but like even they do like very thorough bag checks.
right. No, that's important. You know why it's important? And this is going to be controversial. We are in an age right now in our history where there is a lot of people doing horrible things like mass shootings.
Mm-hmm. Yep, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And by not so before I continue, Cosplay Choco has joined us.
Hi, I was not expecting to do this today. I tend to stream sometimes, mostly with Cos Talk Live, which is a separate podcast, and we talk about cons and stuff. More in the positive light, like we do, you know, so I never get to talk about the nitty gritty stuff ever.
Oh, this is on the Geeks Forever podcast. When we review conventions, we do the good and the bad, the
Yeah, we
pros and
break
the
down
cons.
the good, the bad, and the in between.
We only
Yeah.
review conventions based off of things they can review. However, with everything that's happened, with so many things still coming to light, with us still trying to sort through everything this year, unfortunately, and this is nothing personal against Weebcon, we feel like this is the right thing to do, so they can be aware, like, hey, you got to get your shit together. And they might not give a shit because we're nobody to them. We disqualified them for our convention of the year. They do not qualify.
Yeah.
And I have a nice plaque that I'm going to give away. You know, it might have been like $50, but it is what it is.
It's the thought that counts.
Yeah, it's a thought that counts because it kind of
Still
shows
more
like,
than
hey,
what
you
they
are the
spent
best.
on the awards for cosplay.
Yeah.
Shots fired. So with that, what was I mentioning before, Choco? Okay, no. Okay, so the reason why bag checks are important because a lot happens in today's day and age. People are being bullied. They're being like, there's gatekeeping. People are being shamed, and like, it's so bad that like bad things happen, and like we need like it. I know some people are like, well, if we don't like, that's not part of this community. We shouldn't acknowledge it. It shouldn't be like something that we have to worry about. It is something we have to worry about.
I mean, we were packed like sardines in there, so anything could have happened.
Oh yeah. Have you did you know about, I think it was like I want to say not 2020, maybe 2022. Anime Expo literally had a carbon dioxide warning.
Oh
on their
yeah.
parking lot
Yep.
because it was so packed. Like
yeah,
it's dangerous.
I was there, so I know it's like I was like, why the hell is there a carbon dioxide? And I was like
Yeah.
wondering. I was like, oh, that's why.
I think that was like the year after, or like after the lockdowns had lifted, and everyone was like, okay, let's get out of lockdown and go party or whatnot. So yeah, that makes sense.
But I do have to say, like, at least Anime Expo, like, I personally like it when the security team is a separate entity from the con itself, only because as much as we love staff and volunteers, they are underpaid, they are overworked, and they don't have like a lot. Like some of them could have a lot of security experience, but they often don't.
Real quick, we do have 2 people leaving, so we do have 2 slots open for the remainder of the show. If anybody would like to come on, I want to give a shout out to those leaving, DJ and Nini. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Make sure y'all check out part 2 tomorrow because it's going to be a tough one.
For sure, we'll be sharing.
We will be there.
All right, thank you, thank
You
you,
guys
thank you.
take care.
If anybody would like to come on and share their thoughts, let me know. Hit us up at Instagram. We got about we'll do about half an hour at least more.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right, so sorry about that.
No, it's okay. I understand. So yeah, I personally like it when securities are separate entities. Even now I've started going to like parties that are like not attached to the con like whatsoever. Like I love raves and stuff, but it's safer sometimes to just be in a private party, mostly because like I'm hyper aware that minors sneak into like con events where they shouldn't be all the time. I do not want to be drunk anywhere near a minor at all.
Yeah.
And it's just a more concentrated pod because they have their own security and they have their own like money. Like that's why like the box lunch after parties and like those branded after parties are, you don't hear a lot about them because they're in such a controlled environment.
Yeah, actually, so we do something. So we had a incident last year where we had a room party. So we do have people that are part of our room. Like, hey, so you want to like, this is our security team. You guys are in charge of kicking out whoever we need to kick out. So we have had to kick people out, and like they will talk shit like, oh my god, that party was a bust. They're so fucking lame. They didn't let anybody in. Yeah, because you didn't have fucking ID, or you were being an asshole, or you were fucking with the alcohol when we told you not to touch it. Like, for the most part, you're not allowed to touch the alcohol unless we trust you. Oh, you want a drink? All right, we'll pour it for you, but you got to come watch because you're not gonna like point fingers at me and shit like that. Well, do I have to? Yes. Or you're not drinking. All right. Thank you. All right. So we want to give a shout out to Monica as well. I think Monica's heading out.
Yeah, I gotta get going. Thank you
Yeah,
so
you're
much for having me
good.
on.
Thank you for joining us.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you so
All right.
much.
So it's very important, like people be held like accountable for that. I want to give a shout out to JC who shared our story. Thank you so much for sharing and getting us some like pointing people in our direction. It's tough, it's not easy running a party. It's very there's a lot of things to go into it. And I'm starting to hate running room parties because there's always like that one. I went to another room party and like there were 19-year-olds in there and I was like, ugh,
boy.
Fucking kids.
Like I used to be 19 once, so I understand, right? But
yeah,
like,
no, I used to too.
They were young.
But like, come on. That's how I feel about like, I don't know. I was like, there's no other way to describe it other than I was there during the infancy of like Whole Wheat Pete. I don't know, like he had not reached the fame that he had like as he currently does now. He was at Anime Weekend Atlanta, like it had to be 2019. Yeah, it had to be because I was like, but I was dressed up as like wedding Agretsuko from the Netflix series. Very good
Yeah.
anime. Watch it.
Yeah.
I
think I saw your cosplay of 2019. That's pretty cool.
Thank you so much. Yeah, Agretsuko loves me. I don't know. They share me all the time. They don't send me PR packages though, so shame on them.
Aw. Hey, send
But
her some stuff.
I was waiting, trying to look for my friend, which is now like he is the reason why I don't wear big builds alone anymore. I don't wear ball gowns alone, and I don't wear big cosplay builds alone anymore. Not even for a break. I just don't now. But basically he comes up to me and he's infamously in his Demon Slayer is it Zenitsu or something?
Yeah, Zenitsu, yeah.
Yeah. He's in that costume, and then I was like, oh my god. This at the time I had no idea who this man was. Absolutely none. He comes up to me and repeatedly asks me to marry him. And I was like, no, thank you. And he continues to ask and continues to ask. And he's on the ground, on his knees, like begging over and over. And I'm looking around and I'm like, is this a bit? Like, I don't understand. Like, I don't get it. I was so panicked. This was my first out of state convention.
Oh God.
And it got so, I had like tears in my eyes. It got so bad that a con staff had to come up and had to be like, honey, are you okay? And the problem with that, and I'm so glad she stepped in because it did stop that interaction completely. However, by the time that she had come forward, I had already started crying, and the other guy that was with him came up and, you know, obviously had the phone out or like the camera out. And a lot of femmes will understand saying no to a guy in a situation where you are not familiar with the area can be very dangerous.
Very scary.
And this is Atlanta. The first thing you get off the plane in Atlanta, they warn you about like trafficking, like straight up on the train. So I was just, it was like he didn't really ask for permission. He just like, oh, well done. You're such a good actor. Fist bump, and left it at that. Didn't ask me my age. Didn't ask for consent. That was it. It really, I had a rough day after that.
Yeah, this was 2019.
Yeah.
He's only gotten worse. Like,
this person has gotten worse.
I mean,
I don't even want to imagine.
And this is
he's broken props and
he broke he actually like smashed, he like broke a wall.
Smashed a hole in a wall. Yeah.
Broke a wall.
Yeah.
Yeah. That often the thing is that I hope people nip it in the bud now, or else we're gonna get like, I don't want to name drop, but there are certain other cosplayers. This cosplayer rhymes with churro. He's very famous.
Oh yes.
He's on like a secret blacklist in my home state that nobody talks about. But he has broken props too. But that kind of behavior, when especially male cosplayers, they see that behavior, they see the success he has, they start mimicking his content and his methods. And if he doesn't advocate for like consent and safety, then we're just gonna get more of them. They're gonna keep happening.
And even there's a TikTok I shared on Discord talking about Holy Pete, especially recently. They were bringing up how he actually has been banned from some of these conventions, and what he would do, he would switch out cosplays to get into conventions.
So is there a way I can contact that dude so I can bring him on the show and like just argue with him for an hour and a half?
The weirdest thing, I mean, he picked you up on it.
He probably would.
He's gonna thrive on it, dude. He's not.
Yeah. I don't think that would be a good idea.
Yeah.
Hop on a
Call him
TikTok,
a slur.
DMs, just like, hey, come here.
Well, I can dream. Look,
I can't even like And that happened years ago, and
Mhm.
it's not nearly as bad as some other individuals. Obviously, I don't want to compare my trauma, but I can't even like look at him. Like I get a sick feeling in my stomach, and like I run
Yeah,
away.
like he's a whole podcast episode on himself by
Oh my
himself.
lord. I
Yeah.
wanted to. So here's the thing, and it's like so. If you see us, I walk around Mexico, cosplay Mexico stuff, Cookie Monster. Like we're pretty chill, we're pretty cool. We just host panels and stuff like that. It doesn't have to be one of us. It can be one of the girls to hang out with us. Be whoever hangs out with us. You guys have any issues at the cons, and you can't find con security? Come, like, run up to us and just like let us know, and we'll like drag you with us as part of our circle and keep it like help watch. We got your back. It's pretty much what I'm saying. We got your back. See, here's
Or
the
if you
thing.
see it happen, like report on that person's behalf, because that person's probably having like fight or flight. Like they are not thinking about reporting. They are thinking about like
How do I get out of
not
this?
freaking out.
Yeah, I think, and I don't know, I could be wrong, it could be full of shit, but I feel like it's all part of like some kind of nice guy, not necessarily nice guy mentality, because it's all, but I'm just kind of like bunching it together because there are legitimately people who were staff for conventions that have the mindset, oh hey, I was talking to her, I was nice to her, she has to give me a chance.
Yeah.
Are like, hey, well, I was talking to her, and like this is an actual conversation we have with another YouTuber who's no longer around. They got outed. They're just not doing shit. We call him Captain Potassium. He literally cried over a girl. Like, oh my god, he stole, because he liked her, but she ended up like talking to somebody else and building a relationship with another individual, and he's all like, oh, he stole her from me, she was mine, like I love her, yada yada yada. The fact that he's saying shit like she was mine, he stole her from me, I'm like, bro, she's not property, she's not she's
Yeah.
not a Pokemon, you need to relax. Like I got mad, I got like, dude, like what is your issue? Like
Very delusional.
No.
No one owes you a thing.
Exactly. Yep.
I mean, if you have if you like somebody, you have to try to bond. And that's, I think, I don't know. It's getting bad. And at Weebcon, like, did anyone, so at Weebcon, the one thing that we've been talking about the room parties, we've been talking about people getting aggressive, people doing stupid shit, people grabbing others or tackling them without consent. Like it's bad. Like I feel like, first off, whole wheat Pete, I'm finally starting to get the name right, shouldn't have been allowed to get away with half the shit they got away with.
No.
They shouldn't even be a guest at this con. I think if you're watching, you should start writing that convention. Like, hey, don't.
Oh, a
bring
lot
them
of
on as a
people
guest.
are.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of people are already writing that.
Because, like, first of all, shoving someone's face in a fountain is unsanitary regardless.
Yeah.
Let's get that straight. And then, like, just
No
like
matter how
you
desperate you
wouldn't
are for water.
would you purposely bring peanuts to your classroom? Like, no, you would maybe you bring peanuts by accident, but you wouldn't bring something that someone's allergic to, right? So, like, why would you create an environment where someone could possibly have, like, there are veterans that go to cons, there are PTSD people that go to cons, there are overstimulated individuals, because we are, like, there's a lot of introverts and a lot of neurodivergent people that go to cons. Like, we all go to them. Why would you actively create an environment where they feel unsafe or they could react in an unsafe way?
And here's the thing. Let me add to that, because you brought up a good point. Let me add to that. why would you do that? You're also sending a bad message to people that are new to this community, to parents, especially over religious parents, or maybe like certain like cults or religious groups or like beliefs or cultures or whatever like
Whatever God you believe in.
parents, overprotective parents. I'm Catholic. I'm not ashamed to admit that I am a Catholic Christian, but I do not like. But like if I have very old conservative relatives that if you see they were to go there and see waterboarding at a anime convention, they would instantly think Juarez or like fucking Matamoros. And I'm like, it sounds like a joke because like it's a cartel joke, but like legitimately like shit like that happens all the time in Juarez. Maybe not Matamoros, but Juarez. Sí.
I mean, Matamoros is pretty bad too.
Matamoros is bad, but not as bad as Juarez. Like Matamoros to me isn't bad. Like I've seen bad. Matamoros is not bad.
Yeah, and I get it. Like, I feel like people estimate how much numbers influence things. Like, numbers is good. Being popular is great, but it's not what it all encompasses. What it means to be a cosplay guest, because a cosplay guest first and foremost should look out for their community first. Not like or like second. Like obviously your own safety and interests come first, but like they should be community oriented at least. And I do not think he is community oriented. He is like, I want my own hype squad oriented.
Is there anything about is there one last thing? So this is a question towards everybody, and we'll start with Ninja. Is there anything about besides what we talked about? Is there anything else that we didn't discuss about the con that you felt like left a bad taste in your mouth?
How about the fact that the Japanese voice actors were taken to the aquarium during con hours?
I heard that. I was like, what the hell?
That was crazy.
Who the fuck scheduled that?
Apparently the con owners or so took them to the aquarium.
Should have done that like outside of con hours.
I think that's fine as long as it doesn't conflict with like their registered signage time.
It conflicted.
That's bad.
It was during con hours, during their signage time.
That's embarrassing.
So like anyone that's ever worked with a Japanese guest, when you take them out and about, they love it. We took Nabashi when he was a guest at Kamikaze Con. We took him to Walmart, and this dude almost broke out in song.
I mean, it's great to take them out, but not during when they're supposed to be signing things.
Yeah, no, but that's my point. We took him after he was done, like after his duties were done, because they don't have stores that massive in Japan. They don't, not even close.
Yeah.
And like when they see stuff like that, because like they might have seen stuff like that, but they might not have. Like for him, it was like walking into Disney World, but with everyday low prices at Walmart.
Yeah.
Like he did not want to leave.
Yeah.
And so it didn't interfere. He had a good time, but they made sure, like when they took him to sightsee, obviously Walmart is probably not the best place to sightsee, but for him it was. They made sure that it was outside of his work, like what his commitment to the convention. Taking someone during the con not only fucks with the schedule, but it messes with everybody that wanted to get an autograph or a picture or meet this person.
Yeah, and sometimes those people, they only bought a ticket for that day, or like this is the thing they bought the ticket for, and now they can't get it.
Yeah.
It's one of the agents. Okay, not the con owners.
Yeah, that just reminded me. Wasn't there like a story where like last minute they announced, oh yeah, those people who have VIP, if your ticket, you only have like an hour to use them.
Yes.
Yeah.
They literally VIP had vouchers to get us signature of one personal item from any VA they wanted, and they announced at 1 p.m. Sunday, hey, no longer accepted at 2 p.m.
They kind of did that too with the VTubers. I believe that was Saturday. They were like, "Oh yeah, if you lined up for the like some of the VTubers like Bow, Cinder, Tricky, stuff like that, there was only a limit of like 300 people." But I think the biggest thing was like they did it last minute, like, and in various. I believe it was Twitter that information came out. It wasn't like on the website or like anything beforehand.
Mhm.
So the outlet of communication for that was pretty much very slim for that.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really want to speculate on that because I'd heard like that it was. I heard there was some truth to it. I heard that somebody did it to like cause like a stir. You know how it goes.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
And I think that's why a lot of people don't speak up about things because they're like, oh, maybe that's like an off chance, or like maybe, oh, this is just like a one time like thing. And then it's only when like everyone has like this culmination of stories.
Yeah,
where
the
they're
collective
okay.
knowledge.
Why was Uwu Land separate?
I can't say. Well, I don't know why it was separate, but from my understanding is that you basically bought a separate ticket for Uwu Land, or I don't know if with the admission for the con you got admission into that. I'm only saying that because my girlfriend bought me for my birthday basically the entry ticket to the Uwu Land. But it was basically like, oh yeah, if you spend a little money, you get like $100 voucher on the merch store.
So
yeah,
we are
because I
running.
like walked in, but
yeah,
we are running out of time because I got to work in the morning. But
Yeah.
I do
Yeah.
wanted to bring up that the main
I did
cafe also did have issues as well, getting water. Yes. Can't see him.
Yeah, I have this one over here. Yeah. Oh, yeah,
He wants attention. Like he literally wants to come over here so I can scratch his back and his butt.
Yep.
Can I help you? All right. So there are lots of things that we have not covered. Like for those of you that are still here watching, like here's the thing, guys. We have covered about 30% of the stuff that we got. Some of it is repeated, so I can probably say like 50%. But there's so much. Somebody got their leg crushed during loadouts. You know, somebody was assaulted. People were getting I guess we can just say were receiving pre-workout supplements that were making them go to the hospital, roofied, whatever you want to call it. People were tackling each other. Well, okay. It was one person doing that shit. And they were kicked out of the con. People were actually like some dude snuck in a gun that almost looked real, but it was fake. But yeah, I mean, there's so much that happened, so much miscommunication. There's still more that we're going to cover tomorrow. So if you guys can, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel and our Twitch channel. We will go live tomorrow at the same time, 7, with the assault victim. We'll come on, and then we'll have a couple people else come on as well. There's definitely a lot. I might just do small videos. This episode will be cut up into and be posted on our TikTok channel. If you haven't joined our Discord, go ahead and do us a favor and join our Discord. Everyone's welcome to join and kind of like shit post on there, but that's where we share a lot of like the information we didn't share today. Let me invite Mudkip. But yeah, real quick, go ahead and plug in your social medias. We'll start with Ninja.
Hey, you can find me on Instagram as Tante Cosplay or Tante _cosplay. I just cosplay.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Next we'll do Mudkip.
I'm just a con goer, but I don't really have any socials. that I would like to plug. But yeah,
That's fair. That's fair. All right, next is Cosplay Choco.
Hi, I'm Cosplay Choco. I also mostly just cosplay.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty outspoken about stuff, and I like making funny little jokes.
Cool. That works for us. All right, next is Dankapus.
Hello, I'm the Danktopus Hunter. I draw, I cosplay. I throw a lot of big parties at cons. Shh, don't tell anybody. Follow me at Danktopus Hunter on everything. Don't follow my Twitter.
What a
Thank you
mood.
guys.
All right, next is Keyblade Sonic.
All right. Find me on socials. I'm Super Saiyan Sonic on Instagram. From there, you can find my link tree. I have all my links to my YouTube, my Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, etc. Subscribe to my channel on YouTube. I'm actually 4 or 5 subscribers away from hitting 1,500. So that's going to be pretty cool. I really appreciate the support for everybody out there who's ever watched my videos, like, dislike, etc. Yeah, so follow me on Instagram at Super Saiyan Sonic. From there, you'll see my link tree in the bio, and there you can follow all of my socials.
Okay. All right, guys. So, like I said, we will be live tomorrow again at 7, same time, same channel. Normally on Tuesdays we do a shit talking podcast. That is not the case anymore. That one's actually being rescheduled. We're no longer gonna do it on Tuesdays. We're gonna move it to a different day because I don't like doing 2 podcasts in a row. It's just kind of a lot of work on me. So make sure you follow us on our YouTube channel and on our Twitch, Instagram. You can follow us at Instagram at instagram.com/geeks5ever. You can follow us on YouTube, Twitch, the Twitter, the Book of Faces, the Snap, the chats of Snap, all of it at Geeks5ever. If you have any, join us on Discord. We're always sharing all kinds of content there that we can't normally share on the podcast. All kinds of stuff, all kinds of crazy stuff. We're trying to get at least 150 members. So if you haven't joined, join us. If you would like to come on the show and talk about any future topics, we're always reviewing conventions. We're always looking to have guests. Thank you guys for making this such. Thank you for helping us help y'all get y'all's voices heard. Because the Weebcon staff did watch the show.
Mm-hmm.
They were here, so they know.
And they don't call us the voices of the voiceless for nothing.
That's right. We are the voice of the voiceless. So next year, expect water stations, security up the ass, and
and toasted Pete's out of the con.
Weebcon 2025 now, toasted Pete free.
Oh my gosh. Gluten free for real?
I don't really.
Gluten free.
So make sure you follow us on the YouTube. Make sure you ring-a-ling the ding-a-ling button so you can be notified every time we go live. If you have any suggestions for topics, if you want to come on the show, you want to talk, just talk, review, whatever you want. We're doing interviews. We're always doing the show. We'll see each other on our live stream this Saturday for WrestleMania. We're doing a WrestleMania pre-show. We will do a live show at Comic Palooza, and we are already confirmed for Delta, BotCon, and Comic Palooza this year. We might be confirmed for other conventions. Also, we're going to be giving away 2 free. We're going to be giving 2 pairs of BotCon tickets. BotCon is in Pasadena. I believe it's in July. I need to get the dates. We didn't really prepare our advertising segments for today because we wanted to focus on the subject. But we will give those away eventually, and there's no really anything. We'll just pick somebody. We'll just randomly pick some. Yeah, we'll do a drawing. That's what we'll do. Yeah, we'll do the drawing. All right, guys, thank you for watching. And for those of you that are on the show, you don't have to leave right away when we end the show. Y'all can stick around for a bit. All right, guys, thank you for watching. My name is Captain Mexico, also known as King Mexico, Jesse Goku, and I will see you guys later.
You guys take care. See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.